Oh, yeah. Show me the money. We're live in Las Vegas. Xfinity teams racing here for the 30th time. It's round 3 in 2022. And as the cars roll off the grid, we say hello to one of the hometown drivers. Riley Herbst grew up here, began racing here. His grandfather, his father, his uncles, they're road racing legends in the Southern Nevada Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's buds with Noah Gragson. I'd like to see them go toe-to-toe today. Probably will. Off-season, a little Bora Bora, a little Cabo. He's a world traveler. And he's our guy from the driver's seat, starting third this afternoon.
All right. Hey, Riley Herbst, Ryan Blaney, Joe Legato, Adam Alexander up in the Fox booth. You got us.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we're in your hometown. Obviously a big race. I'm sure you got family, friends coming out to see you. What do you expect today? We saw the wind was pretty crazy in our practice. Looks like you got a really good starting spot. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to take it lap by lap here with this Circus Ford Mustang. But like you said, the wind's going to play a pretty big factor into turn 3 and into turn 1. So, you know, these restarts in Vegas are always wild. So trying to get through the first couple stages and hopefully be there at the end.
Sounds good. Best of luck to you in that Mustang and hopefully get a hometown win today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Last 9 races in the Xfinity Series, 9 different winners dating back to when we came here in the fall. A handful of those guys winning for the first time in their career. Riley Herbst hoping to get it done today. Be so cool to see him do it right here at his home track. And if he doesn't do it, it might be fun to watch this guy win. Our Goodyear onboard Noah Gragson on the second row with his former high school mate, Riley Herbst. This guy has been locked in all season long.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some good speed out of those cars here today. Anytime you're at your home track, you want to go out there and have a good race. And it's nothing like winning at your home track for sure.
Starting grid is in the front row. The 2 guys that won here last year, A.J. Allmendinger, Josh Berry. Let's get more on Team Colleague and say good afternoon to the lady from Las Vegas. Here's Jamie Little.
Good afternoon, Double A. Yes, Chris Rice, the president of Colleague Racing. You guys have been lights out 3 straight weeks in a row. You capture the pole. How do you expect these 3 cars, though, to race here at Las Vegas today?
Well, we still got some work to do in race trim, like you've heard A.J. Allmendinger talk about. But, you know, all 3 drivers have done great. Everybody at the shop, all the men and women at the shop have done amazing. We worked really hard on getting speed back at these 1.5 miles. We got it back. Now we got to figure out how to race. We got to get back to the East Coast, work on these cars. But if we can race 5th to 7th today, I'll be really happy.
All right, they're leading the field to green today. Let's go over to Vince Welch.
Well, Jamie, if a Colleague car is going to win today, might have to beat the 9 of Noah Gragson. He's the only driver to finish top 5 in each of the first 2 races. 3rd at Daytona, 2nd at California. If they take that next step to win today, they say they're going to have to be a little better on the long run, so they made a slight adjustment after practice. And as they mentioned up in the booth, winning is always special, but winning in your hometown, well, that's a lifelong memory. And for Noah Gragson, he hopes that dream comes true today.
I just hope we get invited to the party, because he said if he won at Daytona, he was going to swim in Lake Lloyd. I don't know what he'll do winning in his hometown, but I know it would be quite the celebration for number 9. And now our Jackson Hewitt race analysis. And we have a lot to talk about here. Number 1, the particulars that we always give you before any race. Couple of 100 laps, 300 miles. You see the stage breakdown and all of that. But we have to get to the rest of the story. I mentioned this off the top. 16 drivers going to the rear in this race. And the main reason why, NASCAR and the teams got together to save some money. They partnered up last week's race with today, made it a doubleheader. So if you crashed last week, go to a backup, you're going to the rear. That put a lot of teams behind the 8 ball early.
But you see this, though. There's 16 cars going to the back. You're not really starting in the back. You know, if you're in the front of those 16 cars, you're still not all the way back there. And we've seen so many times, you get some fast cars back there, and there's a few of them on that list that have some really fast cars here today. They're going to be fun to watch the first 15 laps. They are going to be blowing through the field like you wouldn't believe. They're going to be passing cars left and right, up on the top side or on the bottom. 3 wide is definitely an option here. 4 wide, we've seen it before. Usually doesn't end well, but it can happen. There's plenty of room to pass here in Vegas.
There is, you know, and Joey talked about guys coming from the back. I think that's going to give an opportunity for this track to get wide pretty quick. Usually when you have a bunch of fast cars, you know, there's 4, 5, 6 cars coming from the back that, you know, are top 10 cars. So they'll be searching for room, and I feel like it's going to get up there pretty quick. I feel like these Xfinity cars do a good job of widening out the racetrack, and You saw Cup cars in qualifying. We were second and a half lane through 1 and 2. So that'll be curious to see how that part of the racetrack gets worked in and how quickly.
Larry Mack always says there's going to be comers and goers. One guy that's just going to be going, A.J. Allmendinger.
Just so you know, we only thought it was windy in California.
Yeah, 10-4. I hope it starts to die down, but I don't know. Stay warm up there.
Yeah, thanks.
He's talking to a spotter up there on the roof. It's really windy up there. He's as high as you can be here in Las Vegas, and the wind is just steady blowing down the backstretch, and that tailwind makes you feel like you're booking down the backstretch, but you can't stop when you get there.
Gosh.
And you start sliding, and then eventually that wind hits your car right in the door in the center of the corner and really pushes the car up the racetrack even more. So you're definitely hanging on for the first 2/3 of turns 3 and 4. As you go through it, it starts to get a headwind once you get almost to the exit, and it grips up like you wouldn't believe. So it's really unpredictable for the drivers through there.
Those spotters just above us. So when we come up to the broadcast booth, we see them a lot here at Las Vegas. They were all huddled down in the restroom earlier. That's how cold it is for them. I mean, maybe that's too much information.
I'm going to leave that there.
They got winter coats on. I mean, you never think of it, but it's windy. I mean, that's going to play really big into it today. And like Joey talked about, into 3, and the whole corner of 3 and 4 will change no matter. It just depends where the wind's hitting you on your car. So it'll be a handful, but that's what makes these races fun.
And sometimes to that you see them move up the racetrack sooner, some because they don't want to and it just blows them up there, but also sometimes you can get up next to that wall and kind of hide yourself from the wind. So I'll be interested to see if any drivers try that theory out.
A.J. Allmendinger on the pole for the 5th time in his career, 2nd week in a row, won this race last season. To his right, the guy that won here in the fall, Josh Berry. Allmendinger takes the inside lane, and here we go in Las Vegas.
Second lane, 1 back. Second lane, 1 back.
Allmendinger got a really good jump on the initial start, but Berry ripped it around the 2nd lane of 1 and 2. See where he goes here. Try to get to a quarter panel in 3 and 4.
It's a tricky place to get to the outside. You want to definitely try to do that earlier. She wasn't able to, but you're right. That run he got through 1 and 2 is pretty impressive. The 16 had a great launch. You see that draft just working down the straightaway, trying to get to the AJ's outside again.
That's the one thing I noticed. Noah Gragson in the 9 behind his teammate. Got to help when you're getting that shove, right?
Doesn't hurt.
Daniel Hemrick, reigning champ. Last year driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. This year, Colleague in the top 5.
We talked to Riley Herbst, 33rd, and dropping pretty quickly. He's having trouble getting going. I'm not really sure if he's might just take some time for pressures to build up, but definitely not the start that Riley wanted, I'll tell you.
Something we'll talk a lot about today too is the tunnel bump. Turns 1 and 2 has a big bump over there, and we're on low air pressures right now. The cars will get on the splitter and kind of move you up the racetrack, and that's why some of the times that 2nd lane down there is going to work well too. But it'll be fun to watch the 54 here moving through.
Oh, geez, Ryan Sieg, hang on to it into the wall. Decent contact, no caution yet. Keep in mind, Ty Gibbs, one of those drivers that started at the rear, was already inside the top 15, and Sieg, a driver that had recorded 2 top 10 finishes to begin the year, but he is beat up early.
And that just ruined his day.
Middle, just keep hanging here, about 10 more.
You see everyone spreading to avoid him. Everyone's done a nice job of. You got one smoking real bad right behind him.
And now the caution is out, with A.J. Allmendinger leading 5 laps in. And that's Brennan Poole in the 47.
It looks like that one blew up.
The replay of what we thought would produce our first caution of the day. Did he touch him? It was, I mean, it was, he did get him for sure. I thought so initially. Second time around, ooh, it is close.
Might have got a tap.
We're back in a moment on FS1. We have answered our question. There was, in fact, contact.
There, Joey used the screen
right there.
You see a little bit of paint.
You see a little paint. I'm not as good with the thing. I mean, pretty much what happened here, from what I see, is the 54 is fast. He's faster than a 39 car for sure. He's got to run. He packs air on the rear spoiler of the 39 of Ryan Sieg. What that does is it takes all the air that was falling onto the rear spoiler of Ryan Sieg, it takes it off and makes the car really loose. Once it starts getting loose, he starts moving up the racetrack and slowing down, and the 54 kind of cleaned him out. And then here comes Ryan Sieg's mad, and rightfully so.
I mean, too aggressive there if you're Ty Gibbs. We'll get to that in a second. First, let's listen to their team radio.
And I didn't want to run over him, but he like snapped loose, and I couldn't check up hard quick enough to where I didn't want to get him air loose or touch him on the left rear. We were tucked up there pretty tight, so I'm sure that did help. I'm sure we packed enough air there that helped it.
Yeah, I mean, as you talk about, could he have been more patient? Probably. I mean, there's nothing wrong with packing air on somebody, and kind of moving them a little bit out of the way. But there's a point to where you got to kind of get off of them and not keep throttling through them, because it's just going to get worse and worse. So that's just one of those things, and unfortunate for Ryan Sieg, because the day was just getting started. But one of those deals I'm sure both of them look at and kind of learn from.
We talk about this too. The Ty Gibbs, amazing talent. We know that. We also know he's a very aggressive driver, and some of that's what makes him so good. But I've went through this myself, right? You have to find a way to understand when to be aggressive and when not to. And when you're young, he's 19 years old. You say he's already got 4 wins, but you have to learn when to be aggressive and when not to. And coming from somebody that's learned my lesson the hard way a few times, that might happen the same for him. But I've always said this: I'd rather have to back a driver down than have to push a driver to drive harder. And I think with Ty Gibbs, you're not going to have to push him any harder. He's going after it.
39 banged up, Vince.
Heavy damage to Ryan Sieg's car, and you heard the radio from Ty Gibbs. I can assure you that Ryan Sieg's radio you could not have played, because Sieg is in a very unforgiving mood at this moment right now. And Joey, you made an interesting comment, and Ty Gibbs, right before he got in the car, told me today, he said, it's a process. I'm still learning. And I thought that was interesting. You know, he won 4 times last year, and people just assumed he was going to pick right up where he left off a year ago. But he's the first one to tell you it's just beginning for him. He's going to make some mistakes like this, but boy, it was a costly one for Ryan Sieg today.
For Ty Gibbs, you got to know when to go. You got to know when to whoa. And today, he was going, and a little too much for Ryan Sieg, who continues to sit idle on the pit lane. Somehow, we've already reached the month of March. March 5th is, in fact, National Cheese Doodle Day.
I love cheese doodles.
On March 5th, 1960, Elvis Presley discharged from the Army. Led Zeppelin getting it done in 1971 with Stairway to Heaven. Danica Patrick going to be in the Fox booth tomorrow, calling the 400-miler here. And on this date, 2011, she was top 5 in the Xfinity race right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The best finish ever by a female in a National Touring Series race. And we look forward to having Danica as a part of the team. Say something nice, I guess, because if you say something nice, maybe she'll compliment you guys tomorrow.
She's watching right now. I'm sorry for everything I did to you on the racetrack.
Oh, by the way, send us a bottle of wine, right?
Yeah, we'll take a bottle.
Look at this lady.
My nephew
That's a great
turns
outfit.
1 today, so that's another thing that happened on March 5th.
blow
today,
out the
so that's
candles,
good.
right?
Yeah, he can't really do it any. I don't think he knows what that means.
This is where you just grab the cake and
he
jam it in your face.
Yeah.
We're choosing here. A little choose roll action here in Vegas as well.
Where would you go, low or high?
Well, it looks like a lot of them went high.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think definitely the top is probably preferred.
Daniel Hemrick went from 5th, 3rd.
I don't know if I'd be willing to give up more than a row to take the top, but we'll kind of wait and see. I mean, that's something that it's different for every car, right? Everybody has different preferences, whether they're drivers, whether their cars are able to do certain things, and everyone's learning. We're got 12 laps on our tires. That's another part of the equation. So, Jamie, you got something on the 10.
Yeah, I was listening to Landon Castle's radio. He was talking with his spotter, Freddie Kraft, and they were curious about the rubber that's been laid down now that the Cup cars are running a totally different compound than the Xfinity cars. This was their conversation moments ago.
Hey, did any of the Cup rubber look like it came up when you guys fired off here?
Yeah, it has now. The bottom, the bottom half of the track is cleaned off. The top half of the track still looks like it has Cup rubber.
All right, copy that. I was kind of curious just because of it being a little bit of different compound,
I mean, there's different compounds of rubber. We qualified, so a lot of times after qualifying, a lot of the rubber is picked up at that point. They may see a lot of the truck rubber as they laid down a bunch last night, so that might be what they're talking about.
We're at the 1/4 point of stage 1 in Las Vegas. The restart comes here as we complete lap 12 front row, just like when we started the race. Inside Allmendinger, outside Berry.
And Dinger got a good push there. He launched pretty good, but Hemrick was there to get to the bumper. See how the bottom kind of fends off for Hemrick. See, we talked about the second lane maybe being preferred lane, especially for the first lap, it seems like. So let's kind of see how that plays out. And everyone's watching that. Everyone's watching how these lanes play out to try to use them for later.
11 cautions last night. We'll get the number. 11 cautions last night in the Camping World Truck Series race. And I feel like 9 of those 11 restarts, the leader took the outside lane. And we'll confirm, but the high percentage was the outside. And already today, twice we've seen Allmendinger start on the inside. And it's working out for him, right? I mean, he's out front looking good.
Absolutely. This is a kind of tricky spot to be in. Daniel Hemrick on the bottom. That's hard to be on the entry door-to-door into turn 3 with the wind blowing the way it is. It's a tricky place to be. You see he lost a little bit of momentum, getting a little bit challenged from behind.
So the wind's blowing down the back, right? So I have a theory that if you are the outside car in 3 and 4, the wind is blocked by the inside car, so you don't get as much wind hitting your door. So the second lane might be even more preferred if you have someone on the bottom. We have a caution for some debris in turn 1.
How'd you do in science class, by the way?
I don't think I ever went, but I just thought of that.
I mean, with theories like that, I mean,
I'm gonna write a book on that.
You're a genius.
Debris, the reason for the caution here. And while we're under yellow, we look back at this. Ty Gibbs continuing to push through the field. Literally.
And so is the 10. Both going through there, and he got a run off up the top, and nice pass.
2 of the best qualifiers of the drivers that had to drop to the rear. So they started somewhere in the mid-20s, talking about Landon Castle and Ty Gibbs. Second caution of the day. Allmendinger leads Berry, Gregson, Hemrick, and Ryan Truex in Las Vegas. This Wednesday, the Big East Tournament tips off on Fox and FS1. Who will rise up and take the crown at the world's most famous arena? Catch all the action starting Wednesday on Fox FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Cleaning up our second caution of the day, some debris on track. We've done the choose. And I'm going to tell you right now, that young lady has no idea what the choose is. Could care less.
She's trying to choose her favorite flavor of ice cream later. I think.
Yeah, indeed. Higher priorities in life.
It's true. Well, we just watched the choose here as we were coming back from break, and it seems like kind of was split 50-50. You know, if you were able to take the top, unless don't lose a row. If not, so it seemed like it was kind of tops preferred by one lane, really.
Yeah, really the only changeup was Allmendinger took bottom, and then Barry and the 9 running second and third, they both went second to fourth, and so Hemrick filled that in. But really after that, everyone went kind of bottom top. It wasn't really, no one really doing anything different.
Decisions on the front 2 rows, is that a teammate thing? Because Allmendinger's now got Hemrick behind him, Barry's got Gregson behind him. I mean, what role does that play when you're making this decision?
It could be. You know, if you watch the last restart back, Hemrick pushed the Allmendinger better on the restart there, and a lot of times teammate cars have the same gear ratios in it. They have the same engines in it, and they are able to push together consistently because there's no differences throughout the power band in their engines and stuff. So it seems like that might be something that helps them a little bit.
What's up, Jamie?
Well, Riley Herbst at his home track had his best career start here, 3rd, but he's fallen back to 10th, so I've been listening in, and he said he just gets really loose when they fire off on the restart, especially through 1 and 2 when he has a car on the outside. So he's trying to mix it up a little bit, trying to make a game plan. And by the way, guys, weather report update, a few raindrops down here on pit road.
You stop it, Jamie. You stop it right
I'm
now.
sorry.
When does it rain in the desert?
Thursday night, Riley Herbst fallen in love with his hometown team, the Golden Knights, and he got to ring the siren to get them going. Now in Dawsonville, Georgia, that would be a siren, but here, like most other cities in the world, it's a siren.
Yes. I got to ring the siren at the Carolina Hurricanes game about a couple months ago, and it gets the crowd going. I mean, it's awesome ringing that siren, and it's a fun time. It's a really fun time.
That's good. Did you get real animated, like really into it?
Oh yeah, you know how animated I am.
I know how you get.
I was
really
bouncing off the wall, and I about snapped the siren over across my knee. You know,
yeah,
so
I know
up.
how you are. You're so strong too.
Yeah, so strong. I work out all the time.
Anyway, sarcasm.
Coming to the restart zone. Adding a lap.
And I got to believe the reason we're adding these laps is because of the precipitation, and we joke about it. But 2 years we came here, and I believe qualifying was rained out on a Saturday morning for the Xfinity Series, and we tried to get the race going, and we couldn't. And we ended up running it after the Cup race on Sunday evening because we had so much rain. And I just have to say, I'm going to blame one person. And he's sitting between Joey and I. It's Ryan, because he was at Martinsville with us last year. Yeah. Same deal. We delayed the race a couple of days, right? Yeah. And then he's in the booth last week, and we have that 30-minute red flag.
We were doing a race in Phoenix like 3 or 4 years ago, and it rained in Phoenix for like 2 hours. I mean, I don't understand.
I remember coming out here for qualifying one year. I think it's for qualifying. Maybe it's before the race. And it was so windy. All the car covers were blowing off. And remember, Cole Pern was out there, and it just took him over. The car cover just wiped him out. That was funny. I guess you had to be there.
I wonder if there's an over-under on Fox Bet of how many laps the race will be delayed by rain. And now they're going to bring him down pit road. Boy, the hits, they just keep on coming.
The good thing about showers in the desert, they don't really last very long. They kind of blow over, especially with the wind blowing as fast as it is. Hopefully it gets out of here quick. And
so much science today, Blaney.
Well,
all the science you got. You got the air wind blocking thing. You got desert storms.
I try to just give my knowledge to you guys so you can utilize it at later, opportunities.
I like it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Ryan Blaney.
That's right.
You know, we were working our way back through the top 10 there a minute ago and looking at the guys that are running up here. And some of them, you know, don't really surprise you, but give a nod to Sam Mayer, who was really good last week in California, comes here for the second time. So a second trip to a track could be huge for him. Ryan Truex driving the 18 has done a good job driving for Sam Hunt and wheeling that 18 today. John Hunter Nemechek driving for Sam Hunt, which is great. And yeah, good to see those guys having solid runs early here at Las Vegas. It's going to be a long day in Las Vegas. Is it me or did we pick up where we left off last week in Fontana? I mean, we had a red flag. We had a bunch of cautions late. Here we have a couple of cautions.
It's snowing.
And this, I have no idea.
Sleet, snow, palm trees, wind. Where are we?
Dust tornadoes off in the distance.
Son, what do you say we go to the race? It'll be great.
And sun's shining just over the hill there.
That's how we know it's just going to be a little bit. Our lead scientist, Ryan Blaney, told us earlier that it's just a small little cell around us and we should be good to go.
By my calculations, when the humidity is X in the desert and the wind is X, you will have X amount of rain. Now do the math, Joey.
Poncho sales are good. And the great news is the drivers, even though they've come down pit road, they have stayed in their cars and they're all buckled in. We hope this delay will be short-lived. Let's listen to what the guys are saying on the radio. Here's the 9 and 18. The guys from Las Vegas who should know better than to produce weather like this.
Snowing over here. Did you say it was snowing? Yeah, I'm not kidding. There's snow coming down. 10 after 2. It's snowing up here. It is, I see it. Welcome to the desert.
Do I get out? Do I
Yeah.
get in? What do I do?
What do you have down there, Jamie?
And Landon Castle and I we're comparing our snowflakes here and how cold it must be for the spotters. But Landon, first off, let's just talk about this car that you're racing today. What happened last week, the electrical fire, this team, take us through what they did to get it here today.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same car that we ran at Fontana, and if you saw, like you said, it was completely inflamed, and they took it back to North Carolina, took it apart completely, and in my crew at Colleague Racing, I think that it was Tuesday night, they worked completely through the night to get the car turned back around. I mean, it's almost like a brand new race car, except it's got a nice suntan underneath it from the flame. So my guys worked their tails off to get this thing back out here to the West Coast. We had to drop to the back, but fortunately, because we had some qualifying speed and so many cars dropped to the back, I didn't have to go all the way to the back necessarily.
Well, good job. He's working his way forward. 12th when we restart here, Vince.
Daniel Hemrick, he was outside, and it's so cold, and with the sleet coming down, he said, I'm going to get my car where it's nice and warm. Have you had enough laps under green to get a feel for what you got yet today?
Yeah, enough. I mean, obviously, teammate AJ there is, out front, setting the pace, and us with the South Point Camaro, it's just a little too tight. But that's kind of the nature of the beast with these Xfinity cars. You're qualifying the same set of tires you start the race on, so heat cycles are never your best friend here at Vegas. But what is happening right now? These are snowflakes.
What do you think of this weather?
I mean, I'm trying to give an interview. Legitimately, the snowflakes falling here in Vegas. So you never know what you're going to get here, but that's obviously, the joy of coming here. I hate these fans are having to sit here in this, but yeah, hopefully we can get this race fired back up as fast as Xfinity's internet. We'll be all right.
Stay warm. That's Daniel Hemrick.
I want to go back to last week, not Saturday, but Sunday for Daniel Hemrick, because it might be cold here today, but he was on fire in the Cup race. He went 6 laps down, and came back to finish inside the top 10. Incredible effort by him and that bunch last Sunday.
Absolutely. And he's getting the race a lot. He's in the Cup race again.
Yep.
This weekend. Obviously, the Xfinity race. I'm a big believer in getting laps. I think drivers that race more are getting an advantage one way or another. You always learn something when you're inside the race car. And I think the more you could be out there wheeling it, you're finding out more things.
Mm-hmm. It just keeps your head in like a competitive atmosphere. It keeps you in that racing zone and mode and, racing around people. It's good. And, yeah, I think Daniel's run the double in the first 3 events this year. So
yes.
That's been good for him to get a bunch of seat time.
14 Cup starts overall for him this year with Colleague. And you see the numbers here. Won the pole a couple weeks ago in the season opener on the Xfinity side. Led a bunch of laps, won a couple of stages. Hasn't recorded a top 10 finish yet in the Xfinity car, which is ironic when we talk about what he did last Sunday on the Cup side. But his story is amazing, right? I mean, all the starts, never able to win, makes it to the championship 4 last year when he was driving for Joe Gibbs, has this amazing restart in overtime to get Austin Cindric, gets his first win, with it gets a championship, and then in the offseason changes teams. This guy's story is truly remarkable.
Yeah, he's riding the roller coaster, up and down, and being that close to winning. You know how close he is all the time, and here's his championship battle here, coming off a turn 4 for your first win, which happens to be a championship at the same time. If you're going to pick one to win, he picked the right one.
Yeah, that was a heck of a battle. Daniel's been really successful, and that was a nice backflip. Really successful in everything he's gotten in, and just the wins have kind of eluded him, and I think he's been plenty good to win many times. Whether it's in the truck level, Xfinity, Cup level, and it was cool to see him pull that off and be at a new home this year, which has opened the door for a lot of great opportunities.
And his wife, Kinsey, was a racer as well. Very, very successful. Her dad, owned teams, and they raced out in the Midwest. And so when he goes home at the end of the day, he might get a little critique that comes from a different perspective than a lot of drivers, because Kinsey knows her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that when you get home?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. You guys would know, not me.
Well, my wife looks at me at the end of the race because, I don't know, I was just trying to keep all 3 kids alive. I don't know what you did. I think it went okay. How'd you do?
A couple years ago, Hemrick was driving a part-time schedule for Junior Motorsports. And when you look at JRM, outstanding last week in Fontana, incredible here in the fall. 1, 2, 3, best first time I've ever done that in the history of the team. And a couple of victories here. Josh Berry when we were here in September. Mark Martin in 2008, first win for the organization all time. And they got a young hot shoe driving for him this year, Jamie.
Yes, and Sam Mayer hoping they get that 1, 2, 3 when we get going here and finish the day up. They just told the drivers they can get out if they choose to, but I think, Sam, you're a little comfy in here. It's like a little warm cocoon. How are you holding up with these crazy conditions?
Man, I'm just disappointed because they said 1 to go like 3 or 4 times, and they kept teasing me that we were going to go. But, I mean, now that we're under red because it's, I guess, snowing out here, I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. It's nice and toasty in here. Well, you guys, I see you're all shivering, so I don't know.
We're earning our keep today, Sam. Let's talk last week, 6th place finish, and that out. You wanted to finish top 10, and you guys did that by a lot. What is your goal today for this race?
Yeah, I mean, our ceiling goal was a top 5, and we're about to crack into that pretty quick already. So I'm looking forward to what we have because I know we have a lot of speed. It's just about actually getting some long runs. We haven't really had that yet. So I'm looking forward to getting back going with that. But, I mean, I know we have the car to go get up there with our teammates, and the 7's right behind us, too. So all 4 JRM cars are looking pretty sporty.
They're going to be tough today. He's top 5 right now, Adam.
Yeah, all 4 of their cars, as he mentioned, inside the top 7. So a real good start to the day for Junior Motorsports. I want to go back to something that I talked to Taylor Moyer about in the garage this morning, crew chief for Sam Mayer. He said, when we go to the simulator, we make sure the car doesn't handle at 100%. We put him in compromising positions so he has to figure it out. Explain, how that works in the simulator to be able to do that, number 1. And number 2, the benefit of that, especially for a young driver.
Yeah, I think the simulators, it's a tool, right? And every tool has limitations. And I think for a rookie, the simulator probably is able to bring more to the table than it does for an experienced driver because a rookie hasn't made many laps around Las Vegas before, right? Or it's a driver that doesn't have much experience. So I think as long as you know the limitations of that tool and don't treat it like it's the Bible, right? What you learn there is not what you take home. You got to know there's some limitations to it, and I feel like the simulators help a lot as long as you just keep it in control.
Mm-hmm. And for a young driver who doesn't have a ton of track time, and Sam really, even though he raced here last fall, involved in an accident fairly early, so he doesn't have a huge log of laps when it comes to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm guessing, too, just the opportunity to develop some form of a rhythm before you get here for that shortened practice, that's got to help you as well.
Yeah, like Joey said, simulators are a great tool. Every manufacturer has one. Every manufacturer has worked really hard to develop it year after year. And it's really helpful for a rookie, either if it's you're going to a place for the first time. They do a great job of kind of simulating the bumps of the track and just the visuals and kind of what are you going to see when you get to the track. And then even going back, like you said, there's things you could probably work on. So it is a great tool. We utilize it a lot over at the Ford camp. And I think it's great for all things from 1.5 miles to road courses to wherever you want to get some extra laps.
You're talking to 2 guys that were really bad at the iRacing thing that we did during COVID.
Yes.
I can't confirm.
It's not really our thing.
Hey, I want to go back, though, when you guys were young. What did you struggle with most when you went to a new racetrack?
Everything. I don't even know where to start where I struggle. And a lot of memories came back to me just watching Sam Mayer's interview, right? He's so fresh, so new to everything that's going around him. I just remember being nervous about everything. So look at this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is going over well.
I wonder if we can... Well, I've always felt like if we could produce some entertainment for the fans during a red flag, it would be a win-win. We might get some here.
We need a microphone in there.
All right, Jamie.
Well, I was walking with Ryan Sieg, and then Ryan Sieg went over to have a word with Ty Gibbs. We saw the incident on track. What did you just say to him?
Just, you know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He's got the best car in the garage, and then he just races you. Not very smart early in lap 10, you know what I mean? So he's got the best car out here, way out from everybody, but just not smart on his part. You know what I mean? We're trying to just survive and make it through these two and just riding along, and then all of a sudden, you know, you get packed with air and you're already free. But just sucks for our CMR guys, you know what I mean? All of our guys work hard, Cowboy, everybody on the team puts in together, and you know what I mean? We're trying to run 3 right now with a very slim crew, so it's tough, but it is what it is. Just
And he is the new guy in the series. He's running full time. How important, Ryan, is it for you to do that? Have words, let somebody know you're there and you see what they're doing. It's somebody that you have to race every week.
Yeah, no, he definitely has probably got to learn his lesson, if you know what I mean.
So is this finished today?
I don't think so.
All right. All right, there you go, Adam.
Oh, something to watch for as the race goes on, because we're only like 15 laps in, so we got a long way to go. I mean, we were just talking about this, being a young driver and the lessons you learn. How intimidating when someone double your age comes over and you probably know he's in the right. How intimidating is that for Ty Gibbs?
Yeah. It was not.
Do you want to throw it to commercial break here?
I mean, I've been through this before, guys. I've been there, and I mean, sometimes you just got to live with the consequences of this whole thing, and it's unfortunate. I've had those conversations before, and there's a lot of times when I first started, I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong until someone came over and said something. And like you said, Ryan C. going over there and explaining his side of the story is probably good. I mean, I'm a big believer in trying to talk it out. It doesn't sound like it went that well, but I'm a big fan of at least trying to explain the situation first. Like Ryan said, it is what it is now. I mean, his car's wrecked, and he's got to ride around for the next, 100 and whatever laps are left here. So he's got a long day ahead of him, and at some point, Ty Gibbs is going to lap him because Sieg's car's crashed, and that's when I hope nothing happens. I hope that everyone's able to move forward and go past it. And I don't believe that just wrecking somebody is the way to get back at someone, because that's just bad for everybody. It's not safe. It's not good for the race teams and anyone involved from that side of it. But I do think making someone's life hard when they come around you, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
What's the difficulty level when you're looking over your shoulder and you're Ty Gibbs and you know it might be coming? Because he's got a car that would go out and win a race today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be in the back of his head, right? I mean, it always is. And I mean, we talked about, you saw those guys talking, and obviously Ryan wasn't very happy, and Ty seemed to be apologizing that he didn't mean to do it. But as Ryan said, it is what it is now. I mean, you can't give me back a race car. I'm wrecked, So, we'll see what happens from it. But I'm with Joey. You don't want to go out and just wad up someone else's race car to get back at him, but you can make their life really hard. But yeah, I think Ty's going to have that in the back of his head of whenever he gets around that 39 car, he doesn't really know what's going to happen, and just to see how that plays out.
But you guys have been here because you were the young guy. I mean, we've talked about it with you so many times, but you in a similar situation. Do you feel labeled when you go out and you're driving top shelf equipment and the expectations are up here? It changes everything. There is no way to view a guy like Ty Gibbs the same way you do everybody else in the garage, right?
Would you trade it, though? Would you trade it? No.
No way.
You're in a great
Absolutely.
car. You got an amazing opportunity. It's going to come with pressure. It's going to come with people saying things about you. Oh, well, that's part of life. Figure it out. You got to handle it and be above that and be tougher than that. And so I think that's just what it is when you have a good car and a lot of spotlight on you.
We've heard from Ryan Sieg. Now let's hear from Ty Gibbs. Jamie?
And you saw it there. The cameras were on you guys. You're talking back and forth. We heard from Ryan. What's your side of what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I got into him, and it was my fault. But we were all packed up underneath each other there. And once he started to get a little bit aero-free, I just, once it happens, it's so quick when they come to you. And I just didn't have enough time to get out of it. And we've seen it before, so I made my mistake on that part. So. And I told him, like I said, my goal is to wreck you or to ruin your day, you wouldn't have made it around another lap, and it was my fault. But I feel like we got a fast Monster Energy Toyota GR Supra, and hopefully we don't have any precipitation here.
Are you concerned at all that this isn't over between you guys today on the track?
I mean, if he wants to keep it going, he can. But like I said, it wasn't my fault. I wasn't wrecking him for a win. I wasn't wrecking him at all. It was, I made a mistake, but it wasn't like I was trying to do it on purpose.
Thanks, Ty. Appreciate it.
So this is like a lap earlier, right? Almost a full lap earlier from when they got together, I believe.
I think this is going down to turn 3 when the moment happens here. You see the 54 able to pack air. That's what he's talking about. Gets loose and then gets that tap, and that was enough to finish off Ryan Sieg. And I get that, when one car, he's getting one loose, and Ryan had to check up to not crash and just made Ty get there even quicker. I think with more experience, Ty probably sees that happening before it happens. Maybe it might not be such a reaction as much of actually seeing it happen before that.
Yeah. Obviously. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just, when you go pack air on somebody, everyone knows what happens when you pack air on someone's left rear, right? You're supposed to get them a little free and get them off the bottom. And like Jody said, they're going to check up because they got a handful of wheel, and it's just a matter of Ty has to understand, and it comes with experience. Ty has to understand that when you do pack it and they get them off the bottom and your job's finished, you have to wait a second, and there's a lane there to go forward, not just keep throttling up through them. So that just comes with experience, and it's one of those things I'm sure he'll learn.
Highest level of frustration, though, probably's got to be not the intent part of it, but time and place. I mean, we were 5 laps in. I mean, that is really got to be what is turning inside of Ryan Sieg. Let's go back down to pit road. Here's Vince.
Noah Gragson, he's from Las Vegas, and this is the land of the championship fight, right? I mean, all the great fights through the history been here in Vegas. What do you think? During a rain delay, might as well scuffle a little bit.
Yeah, all of us were waiting to see. I've been a few scuffles, so we were waiting to see if anything was going to go down, but it is what it is. Hopefully get through this rain delay, and 50th anniversary Bass Pro Shop Camaro is pretty fast. Just haven't really got enough laps before a caution to figure out what we got, but been holding our own. Just work on restarts and kind of get a longer run to see what we got. But everyone's working hard, just kind of waiting. It looks like it's clearing up, so I think we'll be back here pretty soon.
Obviously, you've raced in Vegas. I mean, it's your hometown. You've raced here before, and you've been close to winning here. But what does it mean to come back home and you sleep in your own bed at home, and you have an opportunity to enjoy some of home's luxuries?
Yeah, it's great to be back here, see friends and family, and just be able to relax. We're at a hotel every weekend, so to get to come home and spend time with family, sleep in your own bed, play a little golf, mountain bike. I like playing blackjack too, so it's good to be back here. I love it back here, and definitely nice being able to come over from California this past week and drive over with some buddies, hang out with some friends, and it's good to be back here.
Do you feel more pressure to win or perform here, though?
No, I don't really set too much expectations on myself. I think we know what the task is at hand, but we don't have expectations. Just go out there and do the best job we can, and execute, minimize mistakes, and just focus. So that's where we're at right now.
There's some might be involved in numerology. So you were third at Daytona, second at California. That was third, second.
Yeah, we want to have a good run, clean day, get points. It's a long season, but if we can run in the top 3, top 5 all year long, we'll be in position. So it just comes down to execution and being in the right place at the right time.
I appreciate you. Thanks. Nice job. Let's go back upstairs.
Great start a couple of years ago. Not so much last season. This year, though, as Vince said, back-to-back top 5s. You look at his numbers at his home track. Can't ask for much more except needing that win.
Yeah, absolutely. So close there. You see the top 5s, top 10 in every single start, 3.8 average finish. He's close. That's what it says.
And now we go to meteorologist Ryan Blaney. What do we see here?
Yes, we have a little dust tornado, I believe they call it, out here in Nevada. We have a very windy American flag, beautiful looking American flag. And then a little icy rain / snow / something else we want to call it, but we won't call it that. So hopefully we get dried up here in Vegas soon, and join us when we come back.
Oh, no! Rolled it over down the backstretch.
You saw the up and over on the way to break.
We're good.
Thumbs up.
We're good. Thumbs up.
The window net is down. Everybody is all right. Hey, after Kyle Larson's big win in Fontana, the NASCAR Cup Series is in Vegas, where the best drivers on the planet look to strike it rich and grab the win. The engines fire tomorrow, 3 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
That'll be fun to watch.
No blaming.
Hey! Look at all of them.
Look at that. Like,
I like how you
look
have
like a wolf man over here.
the youngest me in the middle. I appreciate that.
All the different
Tommy
versions.
Bolden racing days.
Who is that guy on the far right?
That's the new 007 right there. That's who that is.
That is an
You look like
outstanding photo.
You look like you're 20 years older than you are right now in that picture.
Now, here's the reason.
It's a cartoon version.
Maybe we should bet you tomorrow, because you have 5 career 5th place finishes. Put your money on 5 when it comes to Blaney.
Man, well, I'm not allowed to give any advice on gambling. So
I understand.
If you want to bet on me, that is your decision. But I thought we were pretty good today. It's great to have me and Joey have Pennzoil on our cars for tomorrow. Obviously, being the Pennzoil 400, it's a huge race for our team. And you've won it a couple times, so hopefully
it's a pretty big one. You want to go sliding right through that Pennzoil logo you see, but only when you win. You don't want to do it any time before that.
That's right.
You can't talk about gambling, but you can slide the title sponsor right in with no problem.
Always.
What do you expect?
So for Blaney, 5s are wild. For you, deuces are wild because you've won twice in the 22, right? So
there you go. In year 22. And we qualified in pit stall 22. So how can we lose?
Vince, please bail us out.
With Jeremy Clements, we're talking about hat fits. You know, I mean, when you're a race car driver, you got to have a hat that fits right.
That's right. I just got this one from Steve Carnes, First Pacific Funding. Looking good. Our hot rod ain't running bad. It's not as fast as Xfinity Internet, but it's there. We're just a little loose and a little tight. But to keep up with these fast cars, we got to get a little better. But got to thank Jeff O'Day, Steve Carnes from First Pacific Funding, and City Light Shine. Brendan Gaughan's on our car, Team Chevrolet. Hopefully we get this thing back. But who would have thought it snowed in Vegas? Like, they said it's snowing. I'm like, you guys drank too much last night. So I was surprised.
Not in Vegas, I think.
So we're having fun. Hopefully we can get this thing underway and get back racing.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's great right now. So we got a long way to go here. But what's the key for you guys today the rest of the way?
Survival. Last time we were here, got taken out like lap 30 in a big wreck in the playoffs, and that was very disappointing. And we just want to rebound, get us top 10, and we're kind of in a hole right now with the start of the season. So got to get back up there and do better and not make mistakes. But I think we can do that, and looking forward to racing.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. Good luck. Let's go to Jamie.
John Hunter Nemechek, myself, we're rocking the hats. You just don't know what to expect with this weather. It's been a wild day, but John Hunter, you were on the track last night in the truck series, and then you get out of that, you jump in the Xfinity car. How different are they, and what kinds of things do you have to run through your head when you start this race?
Yeah, I think that they're two polar opposites. The trucks, you have a lot of downforce and not a lot of motor, so it's more momentum-based, wide open. And the Xfinity car, you have no downforce really, and quite a bit of power. So you're out of the gas more, using a little bit of brake, trying to help it turn. So there's still things that you can take away from running the truck here last night to try and transfer over into the race, and just different things with how the track changed as the cooler temperatures. It's definitely cooled off since we had the snow shower here, so kind of crazy.
You're racing here for Sam Hunt Racing, a team, an organization that's still growing with different drivers in the seat. What do you gain, and how do you help them when you run these races?
For me, it's just being in the seat, turning laps. The more that I can stay in the seat, the better I'm going to be as a driver. We didn't have such a great ending to the night last night, so it's nice to get back behind the wheel today and kind of put everything behind you and focus on today and try and rebound today and then move on to next week. So I enjoy being behind the wheel. I'll race anything that I possibly can, and being able to run for Sam Hunt Racing and just being able to drive for him really has definitely helped him, I feel like. We've definitely stepped up the program since last year, made a lot of changes over the off season. Toyota TRD has been a huge factor in that as well, so huge shout out to them. Our Toyota Supra is pretty good today. Thought we were pretty good yesterday in practice as well. Hopefully we can get Barry Bullets here to victory lane today.
All right, John Hunter Nemechek will restart 8th. Vince.
Well, one of the surprises, I think one of the top stories, frankly, in the Xfinity Series through the first couple of races, Anthony Alfredo, 7th and 5th so far through these first two. You said something to me before the race I thought was interesting. You said maybe even a little better than our expectations, but it is a process, and to come off and start off well, it's got to have been a big boost for your team. How you guys feeling about it?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels really good. Great confidence booster, as you mentioned. We have worked really hard, and when I said maybe a little bit better than we expected, it wasn't by a lack of effort by any means, but we're up against a lot as far as the other teams go. You know, we don't have quite the resources they do, so to run as well as we have, contend and beat a lot of those bigger teams is a huge reward for us. You know, we're just going to keep our heads down and keep working hard at it so we can keep improving. This whole year is going to be a process, but I think if we could get our Dude Wipe Chevrolet as fast as Xfinity Internet, we won't have many complaints.
Yeah, I wish you the best. Thanks. Jamie?
Josh Berry's over here talking with his teammate Noah Gregson, who's trying to start a fight. No, you can do it right now. We got the camera on. You guys want to go? They're rumbling. Here we go. Teammates fighting with smiles, though. It doesn't always work out that way, Josh. But in all reality, you've been running second all day today. How is the car, and is there any place that you feel like you guys need to get a little bit better?
Yeah, I don't know. We really haven't got going. I feel like just need to restart a little bit better, which I feel like is something I've been trying to work on. Just need to get a little better launch. I think get a little help from Noah. I think we can give AJ a fight on the restart. But I don't know. Our Tire Pro Chevy seems good. Qualified well, starting up front here. So we're just going to try to keep working on it all day and be there at the end.
I know when we were here last in the fall, Myatt Snyder back there now, he's making an appearance in the background. Last time we were here, you surprised a lot of people. You drove it to victory lane. How cool was it to win in Las Vegas?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And as my short track background, I think coming to a mile and a half and getting a win was a big confidence booster for me. And it was just a really special day. So we're going to try to keep doing that, keep getting better every week, and see what we can do towards the end of the season here. But just want to thank Tire Pros, 600 locations across the country. Thank you guys. Excited to have them back on the car this weekend. Harrison's Workwear, Jarrett Logistics, HendrickCars.com, everybody that's had a part of this deal. And, we're going to try to bring home another 1, 2, 3 for the Junior Motorsports team here today.
Everybody wants to have a starring role in your interview. Now, AJ Allmendinger, let's go over to Vince.
With Brandon Jones, one of the teams that's with a backup car, how's that been through these practice yesterday and then early laps today?
Yeah, it's certainly yesterday didn't have quite the speed that I was hoping for, but these guys, they kind of stay into it to the end. And yesterday they put a lot of time in after qualifying to try to get this number 19 Barracuda pumps, Menards, Toyota GR Supra correct for us today. And I think everything that they did was paying off for us this afternoon. Had to come from the back there and just working our way up right now. And I think we've actually got a really good piece here for later in this race. So we'll see where the balance goes. Obviously, they blew the track off, so the track's going to be pretty clean here. So maybe that third groove is going to start being usable here on these restarts and can make some more ground up early on.
How about that situation last week at California? One of the, I was going to say highlights, but lowlights that we'll look at throughout the course of the year. I mean, that was some kind of hit. What was, as we take a look at it, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, this was a frustrating race for me. It was an up and down day. Had some really good moments in the race and had some moments that got us back there, drivers that got us back there, and pretty frustrated with some people out on the racetrack over it. So it was one of those days that ended in frustration a little bit. I couldn't believe it didn't hurt, man. I mean, it looked insane. I know a lot of people kind of on TV that saw it thought that it was going to be pretty bad, but it truthfully saved me there on the sand there. So I was pretty happy with the improvements they've done to try to help that wall hit.
Yeah, glad you're okay, and wish you the best the rest of the day. Thanks, Brandon. Adam?
Yeah, thank you, Vince and Jamie. Outstanding hustle on the pit lane. And the good news is covers are off the cars, drivers getting back in. And this red flag brought to you by the Photo Bomb. Myatt Snyder making his presence known. And I don't know from AJ Allmendinger if this is a photo bomb or this is like a threat on the restart. Look at this, huh? You want some of this? Come get it. Now that shot of Las Vegas is more like it. We've had rain, we've had wind, we've had a little snow, sleet, the red flag being displayed, but drivers in their cars, they're strapped in, helmets are on, and it won't be long before they're rolling one more time. Only 19 laps in for the Xfinity Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Busy day for NASCAR, and it all started with the Cup cars earlier this morning here local time with practice and qualifying. And we're doing the group thing, right? And in your group, you want to make sure you're in the top 5. Mm-hmm. And Blaney was there and just didn't work out.
Joey bumped me out. The last car on, I got him. I'm still sour about this. I didn't get to the green very good, and it was on me. My car drove great. I told my team I underdrove it, and we weren't able to get into the final 10. So congrats, Joey. I'm really, really proud of you.
Well, this is where it gets pretty close, where Blaney said he was underdriving. I had my hands full over here and was a little nervous all the way through the corner. And this is where I get the big mow. That Pennzoil comes in, the clutch moment. That's all you had it in your car,
I got
too.
the same thing
I don't know. It just felt right. Okay. And there it was. So I made it to the next round.
16 thousandths of a second there, the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Waxed
me. Yeah.
Hey, I know we had our problems last week on Saturday for you guys, and we discussed that on the broadcast, and maybe we saw a little bit of a carryover even on Sunday because it was a crazy race. But overall, the new format. And I know we varied it today, right? We didn't practice in groups, just gave you guys 35 minutes. This knockout thing, though, in qualifying is pretty entertaining. What's it like from your seat?
Yeah, it definitely is. I love knockout qualifying, whether it's going to be one car at a time doing it this way or being able to go out again and have another shot at it. I think it just adds more to qualifying than just one run at it. And I like how they split it in half. It keeps it a little bit more fair throughout the field. When we used to qualify single cars, the sun came out for half the qualifying session, and so all the cars that were in the shade went faster, and you just got bad luck because the sun came out. Yeah, it kind of eliminates that where you split it in half and have a chance to get into that final 10 and then make another run at it.
Yeah, that part's a lot of fun. It's honestly just really nice to qualify. That's a nice looking pizza right there. But we got more practice today. We had everybody was able to get 35 minutes of practice. So I thought that was good, and you had 2 sets of tires. So you can go out, make a run, maybe make a change on your car, go back out, and then put some stickers on for maybe a little bit longer run. So I thought that was nice that we got a little bit more practice than we did last week for everyone to get a little bit more feel for their car. But it's exciting. I think it's really good, and whatever format we end up with, whether it's 2 split up 15-minute sessions and then go right into qualifying, or 1 big 35-minute. It's just nice to have practice again, but it makes it exciting for us and the fans, I think.
I think what makes it really nerve-wracking is you have this brand new car, and there's not many of them. Like, you wreck it, like, we don't have many more of these things. This isn't good. And you're going around a racetrack where there's a really big bump in turn 1, and you think that, if I wreck this thing and I go over that, going over that bump the first, 3 or 4 times, I was like, I'm okay. It's just very on edge until you get that comfort feeling over it and make sure that your car's not going to bottom out over it and all that. Yeah. I know I was a little timid for the first couple.
And I think having 35 minutes, you can take those 3, 4, 5 laps to kind of get up to speed, and figure out what your car's doing, because you have a little bit more time than just a short 15-minute. But it is nerve-wracking when you're like, I don't know how it's going to react over this big tunnel bump in 1 and 2, but it can definitely be pretty hairy in moments.
Yes.
The engines have fired. It's about time to get down to business one more time. Party foul right here.
Oh, no. Bring it up to the booth. What are you doing?
Someone get Blaney a pepperoni with extra cheese. So great to have you with us on a Saturday afternoon, going on Saturday evening on the East Coast. From Las Vegas Motor Speedway with Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. I'm Adam Alexander. We got this thing rolling. A couple of early cautions. Then Mother Nature did not agree with our afternoon plans, but the rain, snow has moved away, and we are set to go racing once again in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
We're at Rock and Roll. Everyone's adjusting their steering wheel here. That's what I know that looks really funky. Why is everyone stopping on the backstretch? You want to have your steering wheel set to where it is straight. There's nothing that bothers me more than having the spokes of my steering wheel off a click or two on the steering shaft. So everyone always wants to make sure that's right before you go, and make sure you pull back on it. Any kids that race and you're listening to this right now, always check your steering wheel.
No one has
a bad day.
They don't have enough tires to pit here, right? So you're going back on these tires. What's your biggest concern as a driver after sitting that long and it's cold like this?
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten a couple heat cycles on them now, but then they've gone through a couple heat cycles and then they got really cold. So I'm not sure. I mean, usually when you refire, I feel like on scuffs or heat cycled stuff, you know, you kind of get a little bit tighter, but everyone, it can kind of vary for however your car's feeling. But I think everyone will have pretty good grip here. Didn't really rain hard. I don't think the track ever washed all its rubber off the surface, so everyone will be getting ready to go right back at it.
Landon Castle had to drop to the rear because all the changes they made on that car from last week to this week. Drives it up inside the top 15. We talked to him under the red flag, feeling good. They made an air pressure adjustment under the red flag. That's a no-no, so he has to drop back to the rear again. He got his work cut out for him. A lot of work to get done here.
Long ways to go. Long ways to go. You see it right there. 24 laps to go in the stage, and you're gonna have more cautions and pit stops, and he'll work his way up through there as long as he can stay out of trouble. That's always the scary part when you're in the back of the pack. Something can happen out of your control and take you out of it. They didn't give him much time to warm him back up, though. Strapped in. Here's the one to go. We're going back green.
Look at the weather. Start of the race, 53 degrees. We're at 47 right now. Track temp has cooled off 9 degrees. And, you know, the wind is still out there, although it's died down maybe a little bit.
It's died down a lot.
I mean, look at the flag
on the backstretch. No wind. So this will drastically change up how they've been feeling down the back and through 3 and 4.
We get going again with 23 laps to go in the opening stage. The Dinger and Barry on the front row.
Daniel Hemrick's got that push figured out. You see, this is the 3rd time in a row he gets that push. Pushes the 16 of Allmendinger out front. This is where the 8's been strong, though. Turns 1 and 2 up on the top side.
Mentioned during the red flag how good Junior Motorsports has been, and they continue. Sam Mayer down to the inside of Daniel Hemrick on the high side. Mayer's teammate Justin Allgaier making his presence known in the 7.
You see, Hemrick just didn't get through 1 and 2 very good. Kind of got loose and was allowed the 1 to put him 3 wide and the 11 to slip back a couple spots.
Jamie talked to John Hunter Nemechek. 26 looks good. He's now 7th in the running order.
A little 3 wide action here.
Talked to Jeremy Clements under the red flag. Seemed to be fairly happy with his race car. He's making some moves. That's nice to see.
Yeah, he's 12th right now. 02, Brett Moffitt. He's a Truck Series champion. So is the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Rookie year for Richard Childress Racing.
And as you give these guys more laps, and it's only been a few laps since we go on green, and they've only ran 4 or 5 laps in the first place, the track will keep getting wider, and they're going to keep going. Right now, they're all fighting to get down to the bottom, especially down to 3 and 4. You got these cars here racing pretty tight on each other's doors. The track's not real wide quite yet.
Especially with it being cool. You know, the temps dropped, like you said, and you don't really move up the track. You know, you start moving up the track when it gets a little hot and slick and tires get worn out. And when it's cool like this, it just takes longer for that to come in. But I feel like with these Xfinity cars, they're going to move up. It's just a matter of getting laps and putting some rubber down.
Here's 2 young drivers, or one young one a little older, I guess, Ryan Truex. Thinking about when Drew Dollar was driving that car at Daytona, would have been 2 teenagers then. Truex driving the 18 this weekend for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity for Ryan Truex too. That Gibbs cars, everyone knows they're fast. You know, to be able to have a great opportunity in a fast car like that at a track where a fast car matters here in Vegas. Vince, you got something on the 18?
Well, and what a big advantage it is for Ryan Truex to have a crew chief like Jason Ratcliffe, right? I mean, a guy's had Cup experience, a lot of Xfinity experience, and then you've also got a big brother like Martin to lean on. I mean, there are a lot of resources working in the favor of Ryan Truex, and a real good opportunity for him in these 4 races he's got with JGR. But he needs to take advantage of them, and he's certainly trying to do that here today in the top 5.
Well, and driving the 18 last week, Trevor Bayne, you talk about taking advantage. He nearly won the race, had a top 5. We got word that Ryan Sieg has been posted by NASCAR to bring the 39 in and clean up, and there he is racing with Ty Gibbs up the track, and around he goes. Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed trying to avoid.
Joey, and you talked about that earlier, you know, of going out. And it's unfortunate other cars got caught up in that mess that Ryan Sieg was, you know, trying to settle a score with the 54, and it's a shame. That's what happens. You know, you usually get innocent bystanders that get damaged from that, and you hate to see that stuff.
NASCAR's going to frown on this big time.
Like it must have been super close.
You see him pull behind the wall here, which I believe ends your day when you have damage like that.
Yeah, and I don't think they probably had any intent of continuing, right? They feel like their work here is done.
Well, I think the 54 comes out of this with no damage, to be honest with you, I think. You see him, he's working them up their track. It's a little bit left front damage. But with this composite body, I don't think that's really anything. You see that, I don't know who that was.
Brett Moffitt.
Brett Moffitt there got a good chunk of the wall, which, I mean, I've been an innocent bystander on Retaliation before. It just stinks.
Obviously, that car was not in the best condition, talking about Ryan Sieg, but we had received word from NASCAR 39 needs to come in and clean things up. I've got to believe that their spotters around the track saw what was coming, and maybe that was part of the reason they said, let's bring him down. I could be wrong, but common sense says that's a possibility.
Yeah, and honestly, this puts NASCAR in a judgment call. We've seen this stuff happen before. What is boys have at it, and what is too far, and I'd say this puts them in a tough spot.
I'm like you guys, though. I just hate it for the 02 and the 2 who get damaged and had nothing to do with this. Here's 54 team radio.
Wow, that was just really smart there. All good. As long as you got it out of the system. Or maybe you could go punch a bag at home or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be poking the bear either throughout this one. Just be quiet if it was me.
3 words. Let it go, right? All right, Jamie.
Well, you guys talked about the 2 cars that had damage, 7 not being one of them, but Brett Moffitt, quite a bit of damage. They'll work on that. And the 7, as you see them going to work on here, complaining that something was definitely not right. There's the 02 I mentioned, a lot of damage from that incident with Ryan Sieg. And you saw the 2 as well. And so unfortunate circumstance for Brett Moffitt, kind of an innocent bystander situation here.
Yeah, and a team that has a much more difficult time recovering from something like this, not just today, but going forward. So you think about the residual impact for Brett Moffitt, his 02 team, and really everyone at Our Motorsports who doesn't have the fleet of cars that all the others do. I mean, we got 15 laps to go in the opening stage, and we've had a couple of wrecks. We nearly had a fist fight on pit road. I mean, we had all the wind, we've had the rain, we had the snow. It goes on and on and on. This might be the craziest stage we've ever had in the Xfinity
Series. It's still not over yet.
We still got 15 to go. Gosh, we're only 2/3 of the way done with this stage. And
had a blown engine too, by the way.
A blown engine also. We've almost had it all.
For AJ Allmendinger, it's working out good, right?
Yeah, he's had a pretty easy day so far. Led all the laps and been looking good out front.
Yeah, 1 to go here. We'll do another choose. You see AJ taking the bottom again. Josh Berry up top. Kind of a similar situation, except this time Hemrick says, nah, not doing that again. He went up top.
Well, Mayer now lines up behind Allmendinger. So what kind of push is the 16 going to get on the restart? Because as you pointed out a couple of times, Joey, the 11 has really been good. You mentioned it too, Ryan, of throwing that 16 out front in the inside lane.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that one works out. Like I said, when teammates line up, it just seems like the engine packages work better together, the gears work together, the drivers are on the same program together. You're not worried about someone slipping you to the inside or the outside. You know you're just getting a push. That seems to help. Now there's teammates up top, and maybe the top will prevail here on older tires. I would think the top's the place you'd want to be on this restart, but I also can see why AJ says stick with the bottom, because it's worked.
Yeah, he hasn't lost the restart yet, right? I mean, he's been clear. I think as long as he's gotten clear, that like he has, into one the whole time, it's going to work out great. I don't know if it will work out for him as good if the 8 is able to stay to his outside into one. Like if AJ doesn't get clear, I think the 8 drives around him. So, and that's all going to be about the push that they can get.
Wheel spin could be a thing too right now. Got old tires on these things now. 31 laps on them and qualifying.
13 to go. Stage 1.
The 16 cleared him again without a push, but
I think Barry's going to be able to get on the corner.
Oh, we got loose. The 9 shoved him down in there pretty far.
Inside with the 1. Inside with the 1.
Sam Mayer going for the lead.
Oh, that's where it gets tight on the door.
Be a little 3 wide action.
I think so.
Yep.
Who's Gregson going with? He jumps outside to shove Allmendinger, the 16.
He's not shoving anybody. He's going around the ball.
The old 2 for 1.
The 2 for. You don't have him yet. Looks like Sam Mayer might come out in the lead with this thing.
Is he going to clear him? Not quite.
Get up there.
Yes.
Nice and smooth. Hit your marks. Right with you.
See Sam missed the bottom just a little bit there. He kind of clipped the apron. It's hard. It's hard getting down and getting to the line in 3 and 4. That corner is pretty slick. It's pretty smooth. But if you miss the line, you get really tight on exit.
There's some good racing out here right now. His old tires, cars sliding around. A lot of mistakes. That's what's causing all this racing.
This is good stuff. Truex 18, Allmendinger 16. Barry is there. Hemrick is there. Nemechek, Herbst. I mean, what a battle we've got from third on back. Give a call to Austin Hill, driving the 21. Won the race at Daytona to open the year. Started in the back today. And as we close on the end of the opening stage, he's looking at stage points.
Yeah, battle for the lead here. Noah Gragson gets underneath Sam Mayer. Good side draft down the backstretch. Puts him in a good spot here down in the turn 3. Not so fast, though.
Back outside with you. Still on your
One
tight.
had a heck of a center of 3 and 4. He surged forward ahead, and now you see the 1 put the side draft onto the right rear of the 9 to where he has some positive momentum going into 1.
And Noah really drove it down into the corner strong. You see him get loose, chase it up the racetrack.
How nervous when you're inside of someone in the corner here, because I feel like every time you get so compromised.
You do, I mean, it's you get loose no matter where you are. If a car's to your outside and kind of close to you, it looked like the 9 tried to get in there and clear himself, but the 1 was able to, hold suit with him and able to come back out with the lead.
Ty Gibbs in the top 10 from the back. He's 8th. And I keep saying from the back. It's a relative term, right? Because relative phrase, because there were so many, they didn't have to drop too far. At least some of them didn't. This is for 3rd. Josh Berry, AJ Allmendinger won the 2 races here a year ago.
I've been watching this battle. They've been side by side since we've gone back green. Back and forth back. It's been a really fun battle to watch. Side drafting each other, trying to get the runs. Really starting to put it on each other's doors in the corner. You see Josh Berry says, I'm taking it. Back to the lead here.
I think he's got him this time.
No,
maybe not.
Oh, one got a little excited.
All clear, clear up.
6 to go in the stage, this time by Noah Gregson leading for the first time. Junior Motorsports looking exactly like they did when we left here in September, running 1, 2, 3. Gregson, Mayer, and Barry, and this the battle for fourth, led by Ryan Truex in the 18.
Now, Austin Hill, remember he got kind of pushed in the fence last week, something a little unintentional, but had to go, start the rear today, and he's done a great job working his way up to 6th and right there battling for 5th and 4th.
How about that 21, Vince?
Austin will be the first one to tell you it's been a pretty big learning curve, even though he'd run some Xfinity races before this season, coming full-time to the Xfinity Series this season. He said it's been a big learning curve. Opening with that win at Daytona was huge for them as it pushes them toward the playoffs in the big picture. But this is also a racetrack where he's had a lot of success in the Truck Series, has won a couple of times. So they're off to a pretty good start, and as you see, moving it right up the field and running inside the top 5. It's been a good showing for Austin Hill so far, running 7.
And playing off of what you said, Ryan, after last week's race in California and that contact with Josh Berry, Austin, after the event on pit road, did his best Ryan Sieg impersonation, went over, had a conversation with Josh. Cooler heads prevailed. And here they are both running inside the top 10 as Gibbs continues his climb. And we have to give some credit to the organization. JGR, all 3 of their cars now inside the top 8. Here's A.J. Allmendinger on the radio.
Calming down, SMT. We're driving in much deeper, but
I know it's tough, bud, but you're driving in farther than you were earlier. I got you. Front sucks, though. Copy. Just give me info here.
Let me drive the car, you fix the car.
Hey, if we did a radioactive on Race Hub in the Xfinity Series, the 16 in Colleague would be featured every week, right? With
Absolutely.
AJ and Chris Rice.
Absolutely. I tell you, you brought this up a minute ago. Ty Gibbs in the 54. That thing is rocking right now. He can go anywhere with that car. I've seen him follow cars to the bottom. You see him go to the inside of his teammate Ryan Truex here. He went to the outside of cars and passed him. That thing is hooked up.
Inside of 2 laps to go in the opening stage, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised. You go back to last year, Chris Gale calling the shots for the 54 that was the all-star car at Joe Gibbs Racing. 2 wins on 1.5 miles for Ty. John Hunter Nemechek won in that car on the 1.5 miles at Texas. Kyle Busch had multiple wins. They dominated these style of tracks a year ago. And here we are once again. They are showing their hand, but they're all behind Noah Gregson and the guys at Junior Motorsports who are looking to win the opening stage. Off of turn 4, back to the green and white checkers. Engine number 9 is strong. Stage win in his career,
Good
number
work, man.
15.
What's your water?
And right behind Gregson, Sam Mayer, who gets his best ever stage finish. Barry, Gibbs, Truex, and others scoring points here in Vegas. Stage 1 complete in Las Vegas, and a hometown kid able to get the victory, Noah Gragson. You know, coming into today, he'd only led 3 laps all time here, even though his numbers have been really good at this racetrack. He led 8 in the opening stage. He's now led 9 on the day, and pit stops the order of business.
The first time everyone gets to work on their cars, you know, get some new tires on it. You had a lot of heat cycles on your other sets of on your first set of tires. So finally you'll be able to come in, see what you need, finally get a brand new set on. You know, you don't have the same set from qualifying or the 4 different restarts that we had. So big pit stop here for everybody to try to get their cars driving better.
Great opening stage for Gibbs, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, all drivers that had to come from deep in the field. Noah Gragson leads them down. First pit stops of the day, Jamie.
That was a nice stint there for the number 1 as Sam Mayer led 6 laps. His first laps led this season. Said got a little tick tight there. They're going to take a swing at it here with some air pressure to 4 tires. A tear up on the right side. Josh Berry fired off tight, but said he got better as they ran a lot of speed in that number 8. Vince?
Well, Ty Gibbs has been super through this first series. As the guys upstairs have said, he's been a rocket, so there will be no adjustments, just 4 tires. As far as Noah Gragson is concerned, he said the clean air was the helper. It really made the car good. A little neutral. They're going to put some tape on the front grille, but otherwise just 4 tires and gas for Noah Gragson. And the 38 will be the first one off pit road.
54, slow stop. Looked like they had some trouble getting the right rear tire off and lost 3 spots.
We talked about the Gibbs pit crews last week, that they don't have the Cup crews like they used to have.
Yeah, most of them don't.
They're keeping the Cup teams for Cup stuff, and then they got a different team for Xfinity. So obviously experience level different than it used to be, and something's happened for the 28 cars. That's not normally how you stop.
Yeah, and we had a tire getaway, so we'll sort out all that in a second. First, let's talk to our Stage 1 winner, Noah Gragson.
Let's do it. Noah Gragson, Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got us?
Yeah, 10-4.
Hey, man, it looks like you got that thing hooked up pretty good in your home racetrack. We know it's special to be out there. You had a great race with your teammate. You lost a couple spots on pit road. How's she driving?
Yeah, it's good. This 50th anniversary Bass Pro Shop Camaro. It's really good. Luke Lambert and the rest of the Bass Pro Shop guys. They got this thing dialed in. It's passed yesterday in practice, and got a good qualifying effort. And, you know, we're focused on the long run. So really happy with it right now. First stage win of the year. So, you know, just got to execute, no mistakes. So we'll keep trying to have a mistake-free day and put on a show for you guys.
I usually do. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, guys.
A little bit of a strategy play here. Sheldon Creed stayed out. He actually came down, got his service when we went back under caution after the red flag. He'll be the guy out front when we return. All right, under caution, getting ready to go back green in stage 2. And you see the tire getting away. That's from the 23 of Anthony Alfredo, so he'll be penalized. Start at the rear when we get going here in our second stage. The 38 of Kyle Sieg was caught speeding on pit road. When he made his pit stop, evidently he missed his pit stall because they came down, took no tires, and so we'll see how all that sorts out for him, but he's penalized here as well. There you see the 38, younger brother of Ryan, who's taken his vehicle to the garage. And now I look at Sheldon Creed on our scoring monitor, who leads as we pay off the penalty. 18-lap older tires, not all those obviously under green. What do you think of this strategy, kind of flipping the stage and coming early and gaining some track position here?
Yeah, it's an interesting play. I feel like maybe they don't think the tires are wearing too much, or maybe, they think their car's decent enough. They just wanted to just have some clean air and see how it would go. So you'll see this every now and then, especially here. I feel like you'll see a lot of teams take 2 or stay out, with them pitting, caution before. So we'll get a great idea on what clean air can do.
Let's talk college basketball tomorrow. 2 Big Ten rivals wrap up the regular season on Fox. E.J. Liddell at number 23 Ohio State face the Michigan Wolverines. It's tomorrow, noon Eastern time on Fox in the Fox Sports app. I love this time of year when you go to the big network and you got a little college basketball before a late afternoon NASCAR race. That's nice,
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's not nice is our camera. Is
wet.
There's some moisture on our cameras.
Here we go again.
What are we waiting for? I'm checking the windshield on the rain. Still traveling around.
Something to think about here, because we had the red flag earlier that was 40 minutes because of the rain and sleet and snow, and now we get a little more precipitation here. To make a race official in NASCAR, you either have to make it to the end of stage 2 or to halfway. Today, the earliest point, today it would be the end of stage 2. So we're looking, right now at another just under 40 laps to make this race official.
And for them to call it, it's going to have to be like downpour.
And we got lights here.
We got lights. We'll be here all day, people.
That's right. I already got the lights turning on. Look at that.
Half of them.
They're warming them up.
When's your next race in the booth, Blaney? I'm just curious.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I have to check. Why, are you going to make sure you're not here?
Yeah, every time we work together, there's a red flag. I was going to look at my calendar.
It might be Martinsville. We have a great track record there, Adam, so I don't know.
Blaney's in the booth. Joey Logano making his play-by-play debut.
I think it's me and Joey together in the booth causes problems. Maybe.
Come on now.
I don't know.
See, this is a typical teammate thing, right? It's like older brother, younger brother. You're blaming me, I point my finger at him.
This guy.
That's right.
Well, I hear we're going 1 to go here. So
that's a good sign.
If that's the case, we are going to go through a little choose action here, and we'll be ready to go.
The choose V.
This will be interesting to see what Sheldon Creed does here. He's going to go top, which is not where the leader has gone at all so far. I don't disagree with the decision.
I like top.
I like the top, too.
Especially he's got a little bit older stuff, a little older tires. I think it's a good move. Unless the 9 wants to put him 3 wide here. I saw the 9 took 4th. He could bail on him and stick him in the middle and go on top of the 3. Hey, Jamie, what's the 2-car saying?
Hey, well, just a reminder, remember, Sheldon Creed had some of that damage after the Sieg and Gibbs incident. They were able to come in, they pitted for tires, made sure no fender rubs, so that allowed them to change up the strategy and stay out there. Creed right now, guys, hoping to lead his first ever laps this season in the Xfinity Series.
The expectation with 2 rookies at RCR this year, not what you would expect from a pair of rookies, right? They had very, very high aspirations for both these guys. Austin Hill wins at Daytona. Check the box. Going to the playoffs. We've done what we needed to do. And now Sheldon Creed going to have his first opportunity out front, as Jamie points out.
And I don't know about you, anytime I'm out there on old tires or there's a car around me on old tires, there's blood in the water. And I'm ready to get after that thing because you have an opportunity to have an advantage on the car around you, and it's clean air. So you can make an easier pass than normal if they're able to do that, which puts Sheldon in a very vulnerable position here, that cars will be very aggressive with him.
Couple of young guys on the front row for the restart to begin our second stage in Vegas.
You see like 3 wide behind them. There goes the 9.
What'd you say about blood in the water?
Yeah.
He saved it.
Great saves by everybody.
Yeah, got a little bit of Gregson on the left rear. We'll monitor that.
And the 2 just got swallowed up there by the field.
And oh, sorry, Adam. That is the bad thing if you're the 2 about taking the top, right? Because then there's 2 lanes of racetrack above you for the 9 to stick you 3 wide like that, especially when you're on old tires. So it's a benefit to being on the top. I like it, but that's the only downfall is there's just so much racetrack to get stuck 3 wide like that.
The 9 moves to the top here in 1 and 2 to get to the outside of the 21. Makes a nice pass there, Kerry and Mo on same Mayer here. So he just kind of missed the bottom there a little bit. You know, the 9 just didn't quite get to the paint as soon as he wanted to. Lost a little bit of time to the 1 there in that corner.
3 wide, huh? Jeb Burton in the 27. That's the green car right in the middle to his outside, Brandon Brown. Both those drivers got their first career win last year at Talladega. One in the spring, one in the fall, and we got one going wide.
I mean, there's action everywhere. I don't know how you could possibly put all this on one screen. There's so much racing going on.
Brandon Jones up to 6, racing with Daniel Hemrick.
Yeah, Brandon Jones had a rough week last week at Fontana. Ended up in the sand barrels, but
there it is.
A really good thing. There's so much going on. I don't know what box to focus on.
Yes.
I think the 9's got a really good run on the 1. It kind of stalled out a little bit.
See Justin Allgaier there.
When he rolls good through here, still good. Plenty good.
He's been pretty good in the races and consistent, and just like a veteran would be. His qualifying efforts the last couple of weeks have been a little weak and surprising, you know, for him. And you see his teammates are very fast too, and I expect him to get up there in the race all the time. He's a smart racer, but you know, their qualifying efforts have set them back a little bit in the beginning of these races.
He's finished second here 3 times. Has Allgaier led 90 laps and was a runner-up last September to his teammate Josh Berry. I like what Austin Hill's doing. I mean, great restart, got so aggressive, dove down to the inside and stayed right there in the top 3.
Yeah, he's keeping pace with the 1 and the 9 too. You know, he's right there. 9's trying to get to the bottom. The 1 has seen the 9 be running the middle lane the last couple laps and decided to try it, and it seemed to be working out for him. He was able to pull the 9 down the back straightaway.
Vince?
So impressive what the 9 has done this season. 3rd at Daytona, 2nd at California, and it's a first time together for crew chief Luke Lambert and driver Noah Gregson, but there has not been a transition period at all. I mean, these 2 had never even met before being introduced at the shop and working together, but the team personnel has remained fairly consistent, which has been a big help, especially in the Xfinity series from year to year, for Gregson to have the same crew with him. And Luke Lambert said basically he's the new guy, and everything else has remained the same. It's allowed them to just kind of plug and play, and we've seen the good results continue for Gregson.
Yeah, I mean, went to the championship 4, and a guy you got to believe is a true championship contender this year in Noah Gregson. Saw Sheldon Creed there for a moment while Vince was talking. The 2 has fallen back to 14th, and he had quite a save after that last restart didn't go as he would have hoped.
And right here you see pushing on both sides, and 9 gets a good look, and Sheldon was so worried about what's going on underneath him. The 9 snuck right by him, and he also got tapped in the left rear and had a nice save. He had a lot going on there.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I don't think he knew there was 2 beneath him.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, they all did a good job.
Especially on a restart when everybody's bunched up, right?
That could have wiped out the whole field. Right now is damage control for Sheldon. You know, you already lost your track position. You know, you're on older tires and everyone. Just try to maintain where you're at. Don't make it worse. Get to the end of the stage. Regroup. Try again. You already took your losses. The loss is already there.
How good are you at taking your own advice? You know, you guys are great analysts. You're unbelievable up here, both of you, and really any of the guys that come from the Cup Garage to do this. But I love how the knowledge on Saturday translates to the execution on Sunday.
We've wrecked him a couple times.
Oh,
3 times.
Still a thumbs
helmet?
up. So that's
good. Yeah.
Working our 5th caution of the day for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Las Vegas, midway point of stage 2. And based on where everybody sits in regard to tires, don't anticipate any pit stops here from the front runners. The reason for the caution, this is the 34 of Jesse Awuji.
Whoa. Big Loose getting in the corner, did a great job of keeping off the wall, straightening it out. Still got a race car.
Good to go.
Good job.
He went sideways during qualifying yesterday, and I mean, it was a ride, and was able to hang on to it. Jesse driving full-time, going for Rookie of the Year this year, partnered on this deal with Emmitt Smith, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, who was so good for the Dallas Cowboys, and it was great to see the other number 22 down at Daytona. Joey doesn't even get my jokes anymore. You know what I mean? Like the other number 22. You'll be a Hall of Famer one day, I'm sure.
That's right. That's right.
Gotta love a Saturday afternoon in the Xfinity Series booth with the captain's kids back for a 2nd consecutive week. Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano.
You look so happy there, Joey. I look like I'm sad.
I was nowhere near a race car at the moment, so it's usually when I'm happy. I got to get serious around the cars. I don't do a good job joking around like at my car.
Yeah.
It's not really my moment to do that. Up here, I have a big old time though.
I feel like you always look serious.
I'm just an angry person all the time, you know.
You listen to that heavy metal music too, don't you?
You know, it's back and forth maybe, not so much anymore. A little bit. That's not angry music though. You know, it's not angry music.
Okay.
It can be therapeutic.
Jamie Little, more like Joey Logano. She smiles a lot.
Right.
Great initials too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JL to the JL. We smile a lot. We have a good time doing what we're doing.
That's right.
Well, Sam Mayer's having a good time driving the race car. 21 laps led today under caution. This is what he and his team were talking about, giving him a little advice on what he's doing right and where he could be better.
Pretty good. The only thing I feel is tight off 4 because of the wind, I think. Some of those laps, it looked like you may were rushing back to the throttle in 4 a little bit, and that's where Noah was making his gains. You're doing a good job taking his line away so he can't pass you, but you guys are basically trading off being first and second fastest every lap.
We talked earlier, and there's Taylor Moyer, the crew chief. We talked earlier about Sam Mayer and gaining all this knowledge and being in the simulator. There's no way you can gain knowledge like what he's going through out there. He is learning some big-time lessons being put in the positions he's being put in.
And racing up front is so different than racing in 10th or 15th or 20th. Racing for the lead changes the game, and you have to get up there and do it often to get good at it. Late race restarts, refiring restarts, there's a whole nother book of gamesmanship that goes on once you get up in the top 4 cars. And the only way you get that experience is being fast enough to be there. And, you know, Sam's got a great opportunity here in a fast race car today. Either way, he is going to be a better race car driver today at the end of the day. Whether he wins or not, he will be better because of it.
Front row, Mayer Gregson. Mayer takes the inside lane. Gregson hops to the outside. Austin Hill is on the second row with Ty Gibbs. And we're going to listen in to 54 radio when we return to the green flag, and we'll do so with 20 laps to go in this second stage.
Ten away, 5 away, ready, go. 1 off you. Top, 3 top, 3 top, give him room, 3. Mid clear, inside 19, you're all clear right there, all clear. Sit smart, 3 up.
Noah Gregson
21,
out front.
The 21's been really aggressive last couple restarts, taking it 3 wide. He did it right there, and I don't think it played out as good as he thought it was going to play out. But you know, he just got a good run and decided to take it.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad of a move. I mean, he tried. It was a gamble, and he's 4th. Yeah, he didn't really lose anything. He restarted and maybe not the best spot in 3rd anyways. He chose not to push Sam Mayer and try to get the lead. The 9 obviously had a great push on the top side, which put him up front. So that's the first time I believe the leader has come from the top. Is that
yes,
right?
Yes, very first time.
Hey, you know, the guy that was dominating the bottom on restarts, our pole sitter, A.J. Allmendinger, he's back to 17th now.
Nothing's going to fix it. The platform of the car is so off, feeling-wise. It may not look like it, but it's just so leaned over on the right front. No turn in the car, and it's just like I can't carry any speed. As soon as I load up the right front, I put so much steering wheel into it.
So here's his day. He leads 32 laps, goes from 1st to 6th on the track, goes from 6th to 12th on a cycle of pit stops at the end of stage 1, and now he's outside the top 15 and appears to be frustrated. Long way to go, though. Couple of veterans for 6th. Allgaier, Jones.
Caution's out.
And we get our 6th caution of the day. The 92 is Kyle Weatherman.
One has all the looks of getting loose off of 2 and headed to the infield, but let's see what it looks like.
Tough break for him after finishing
Are your tires
16th
flat?
last week.
DOTV.
got bigger issues than flats here.
What did he do?
That sounds like he got some help.
That does sound like it.
He got loose, up under it, trying to chase it. Who knows?
Let's see here. It's way in the distance. They're telling us. Right there.
He's
off
already sideways.
Yeah, you're way back there.
Looks like I can't pick out the car.
Is that Brett Moffitt?
Like the 07.
07, Joe Graff Jr. Hard to
First
tell.
guard, here comes the inside wall. Ugh. You know, right where he hit there, kind of shoves the splitter back, everything back into the wheel. So it's going to be a tough one to fix. Not saying you can't fix it, but it's not as simple as you'd think.
Brennan Poole out with an engine. Ryan Sieg out after crashing, and we could see the end of the day for Kyle Weatherman. They'll work on that race car. Just over 15 laps to go. Stage 2, Gregson, Mayer, Gibbs, Austin Hill, Josh Berry, your top 5 from Vegas. We're having a great time in Las Vegas. And if you need a workout on the infield,
missed.
Now that's more dangerous than the young girl and the little scooter thing with no helmet, I feel like.
It's a nice little fire pit, though.
For sure. Hey, I guess some heat going out here in the desert. It's a little chilly.
Coming to the choose, one to go.
Jeez, what's that 9 gonna do here? Old tires. He just got the lead from the top.
Yeah.
He's gonna take the top. Takes the bottom. It's pretty much shortest lane there.
Austin Hill takes the inside lane. Here's their radio.
Normally that's harder to do, trying to pass somebody on the front row anyway when we split, but better to learn now than later in the race, so all good. Yeah. No, I'm just, like I said, just learning, seeing how hard I can push, what I can do. Definitely fired off tighter there, so I
need to do something under caution to try to help my tires or something.
You know, he's talking about, you know, trying to help his tires. He might, you know, I saw zinging the rears a little bit more, putting a little bit more heat in the rear tires and the front tires, trying to help his balance for the refire here. You know, maybe that's going to help. But he did take that, you know, second row on the inside, just like he did last time behind Sam Mayer. Last time he went 3 wide to try to get the lead. Oh, maybe he does it again. Who knows?
Everybody said coming from the Camping World Truck Series, he's a real student of the game. We've seen that from Austin Hill. Kaz Grala, double duty this weekend. Did trucks last night, racing here today, and a real solid run in the 45 for Alpha Prime Racing. 13th for this restart. He's a talented racer, Grala.
He does. He does. Races a lot of things. Whenever he gets an opportunity in Trucks Xfinity Cup, he makes the most of it, and it's good to see them stringing together a good run today. Hopefully they can keep going forward.
Tommy Joe Martins has been great for the Xfinity Series this year. Got a 2-car team, stepping into more of an ownership role, and I like what he's doing.
So stacked in the bottom lane. 4 wide.
I don't think that works here.
Not for long.
Allgaier just got put in a bad spot from the restart. He's going to lose multiple spots here.
Mayer's hung out a little bit too in that inside lane. Gibbs out there. Austin Hill trying to come with him.
Their restarts these days, especially at a track like this, are just crazy. Everyone's taking their runs. Now everyone feels comfortable. They know what their car can and can't do. And everyone's just so aggressive. You're moving around the racetrack, and you can't block all the lanes.
Mayer finally gets clear. He was stuck on the bottom there for about a lap and a half, and finally did a good job of settling back in and getting to third and seeing what he can do here these last 10 laps.
The top 2 might be a little bit of a preview of what we're going to see the rest of the race. It's Gregson and Gibbs up front as we check out the restart one more time.
Yeah, you see right here, the one kind of spun his tires on the start there and kind of stacked up the whole bottom. And here's a 27 running up the racetrack, getting a car on his door. Good save there. Lots of action on this restart for sure. But I think going back to that restart, it all happened on that bottom lane when Sam spun his tires a little bit, maybe because Austin Hill had him jacked off the ground, but it stacked up the whole bottom lane to where they were so tight on each other going into the corner. There was just no air on any of those cars, which just made them spread out a lot and have a lot of cars running up the racetrack.
How about that nonverbal communication that we see so often in those situations? Great battle here for 5th, where the driver leading, puts that left hand out the window and motions the guy behind him up. I always feel like that is something significant in these circumstances.
It can work, and I don't, so Mayer didn't have control of the restart.
Right.
So I don't think he can really do that now. Noah taking the top. I'd be a little hesitant putting my hand out the window telling you where to go, because the inside guy can see your hand. So he knows when you're wanting to go. So really, unless you're on the bottom, I don't see that really being a help, because everyone can see your hand if you're the leader on the outside of the front row. But those things do happen, though.
There's a lot of hand gestures that come out the window.
Sometimes 2 at a time.
You only see one, but there might be 2.
Hey, look at Landon Castle. He's worked his way back, knocking on the door of the top 10 in that 10 car that's been all over the place.
That's a big hit.
That's Matt Mills. Incredible.
Wow.
We got safer barrier around the outside, around the inside at Las Vegas, and that's huge. And you just want to see that window net come down. Little movement inside the race car.
Hey guys.
Just hear him there on the radio, I think, there, which is good. I'm sure he's probably at least knocked the wind out of him there. And you got the safety crew there, which is great.
Matt's been driving the last few years for B.J. McLeod here in the Xfinity Series. 25 years old from Lynchburg, Virginia. And he's very thankful right now for that AMR safety team who is on the scene and taking care of him. They've got the window net down and in communication with Matt.
Take a look at what happened here. Coming off turn 2. Ooh, yeah, wrong place at the wrong time. Looks like they got loose in front of him and just clipped him in the right front, which just sent him hard into the inside wall. There's a better angle of it. The 07 just, oh, jeez. Nothing he can do.
No, nothing he can. Those things happen so fast.
But look at that give in the safer barrier.
Yep.
I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Look how high the back tires came off the ground.
Well, this is our 7th caution, and it's probably going to end stage 2 because we've got less than 5 laps to go, and this is going to take a little bit to get all cleaned up. So very unlikely that we'll clean it up and restart before the stage is called good.
Yeah, something you see in the slow motion impacts like that in areas
Good to see him
walking, which is great. I'm sure when you take a hit like that, I mean, it knocks the breath out of you at the minimum. I'm sure he's going to be pretty sore in the morning after something like that. Here's some radio from the 07.
Did he turn us there, or were we not clear?
We weren't clear. He was still there, Buffer.
That I think was clear.
Well, that kind of has all your answers to it right there, I guess.
So we've gotten word that they will not go back green to end the stage. It's going to end under caution, and barring something really crazy with 3 to go the next time around, Noah Gragson is going to get the sweep today. Won the opening stage, and looks like he's going to do it here in stage 2 as well. Gibbs is 2nd. Mayer with a good day is 3rd. Austin Hill up there, Daniel Hemrick, Jones, Barry, Nemechek, Truex, Allgaier, the other drivers that are going to score points in stage 2. Closing on the midway point for the NASCAR Xfinity Series from Las Vegas. And you know, it's all about driver comfort, both in the car and in the booth.
How do you make an Italian happy? Yeah, bring up pizza. That's what I'm talking about. It's a great race now.
Thanks, guys.
This is a no-no.
There won't be any of that up here.
When that happened, I would say that Blaney went subtle with the hints about maybe wanting some pizza delivered to the booth. He was not subtle at all. He just kept asking every break, did you guys say, are we getting pizza? Are they delivering pizza?
So we were still on air when the smell of just beautiful pepperoni pizza came in the booth.
Right behind me.
I appreciate you guys for doing that. That's very nice.
Great teamwork.
And let me tell you, when you're rail thin and you're still, you know, mid-20s, early 30s, you can always partake. You know, when you get to this stage of the game, you got to say no, thank you.
Really?
I wouldn't be able to do another on camera today if I ate pizza.
I just hope my crew chief Paul Wolf's not looking, because that guy is an animal when it comes to health, with working out and eating really, really good. And I get fat shamed all the time by Paul. So this is I feel, you know, hopefully he didn't see that. Hopefully he was turned away for a second.
Logano's cheating on his diet again, Paul.
Paul, it wasn't me.
So the opening second stage, I should say, is going to end under caution. And for Noah Gragson, it will be the second time that he's swept both stages. He also did it at Kentucky a couple of years ago. And he went on to finish 11th. Hey, if we talk to him here, let's not tell him that part, okay? I mean, last time you had to talk to him after they had a bad pit stop. So if we visit with him here, and I understand maybe we won't, you know, so that's a good thing for us and him.
Well, it's nice. Anytime you win both the stages, it kind of feels like you're playing with house money at that point. You know, you got 20 points in the bank. You got 2 playoff points. Either way, you had a pretty good day. Now, it stings if you don't win after you win 2 stages, but no matter what happens from here, those 2 playoff points are very valuable. The 20 points that he scored, he's not going to have a bad day in points no matter what at this point.
Great day for Mayer, running third. Outstanding afternoon. He's led 22 laps. Good comebacks from the tail of the field at the start for Austin Hill.
Good work.
And Brandon Jones. John Hunter Nemechek looking good in the 26 car. And Justin Allgaier completes our top 10. What do you have for us, Vince?
Well, it's been a rewarding run for the 54 today as well. After wrecking last week in California, the team had to spend an extra 6.5 hours here this weekend preparing the car to be ready for today. And then they found an oil issue prior to the race, had to change the oil probe, of course had to go to the back. So Ty Gibbs has definitely had speed, but they've had to fight some adversity throughout the course of the weekend just to get to the race. But now he's in position if we can get through this final pit stop. You know, he got caught speeding in the race here last year, cost him a top 5 finish. So they need to take care of the details, but if they do, you got to believe he's going to have a shot at this thing today.
Guys, I got bad news. Paul Wolf saw me eat the pizza.
Did he text you?
So did Travis Geisler. That's great.
I haven't gotten a text yet, so I'm very excited about
you
that.
can get away with anything, huh?
I got
you get away with the beard. You get away with eating bad. How do you do it, Blaney? I don't get it.
It's called being young, I think, actually.
I'm sure I'll get a text here in the next 10 seconds.
Yes.
That's why we have to say that.
Big set of pit stops here as you want to maintain control of the race. If you're Gragson and Gibbs, and they're headed down, Jamie.
Daniel Hemrick in the 11, you see that. He's got the first pit box as you enter pit road. It'll be a 4-tire stop here. Air pressure adjustment, the car turned better this time. Sam Mayer on the right, he's got the Hendrick Cup pit crew going over the wall. 4 tires, air pressure, no adjustments. The last ones helped a lot. Vince.
Well, the 54 of Ty Gibbs fighting a little bit of a balance issue. They need to rotate better, so make an air pressure adjustment with that. As far as the 9 of Noah Gragson is concerned, no changes needed. He is really good, especially in clean air. Dirty air giving him a little bit of a problem, but as long as he's out front, that 9 is good to go. Sam Mayer going to be the first one off pit road.
Well, it was tight, but the one crew delivering there. And we'll see who came off second. Now, Austin Hill did get Noah Gragson. I knew it was going to be really close. So Gragson goes from first to third. Barry +3. And we'll reset the running order when we come back. Brandon Brown stayed out. These fans, they're loving it. They're saying, go 68. We're back in Las Vegas. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. I'm Adam Alexander. Brandon Brown leading. He had made a pit stop at lap 67. Stays out here as we take a look at our eBay Motors pit performance. And you see the difference. Sam Mayer's group delivering 13.9 on the stop. Solid stuff there, Jamie.
Yeah, and after that stop, Sam Mayer just came on the radio and he said, hey, did you guys get the lug nuts tight? He said, I'm getting this clicking sound when I turn the wheel to the right. And I overheard one of the pit crew guys say, we're good, we got them all tight. And why the heck is he turning it to the right? As long as it's good turning left, we're good.
Yeah. I don't know what would make that. That would definitely be concerning. I mean, he's turning to the right as he's warming his tires up. But as you see him there shaking his car, I don't know what that means. Something funky.
Hey, let's go back to that earlier restart when Creed played the strategy and it didn't work out on old tires. Similar situation here for Brandon Brown, who takes the inside lane. Creed had taken the outside. I mean, some real interesting stories when it comes to tires on the front row, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more to the story on why they decided to do this. He has quite a few laps on his tires and going for it here after not seeing it work good for Sheldon Creed earlier. I don't know. Maybe he can make it work better.
Don't worry about him, man. We need you to start here. I'll help you do it. We're going to go with a takeoff here. Stay in mind and move down to the start finish line.
That's 68 radio. And by the way, we've made it through stage 2, so should we have another issue with weather, this race would be official.
68 got a great restart right there. Going to be clear into turn 1.
Definitely caught him sleeping there and was able to at least secure some clean air for turn 1, maybe not 1 and 2.
This is where you got to get it done on those old tires, right? Because once you fall back, it's kind of game over, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to hang tough here. You got to race hard and just control the damage. You know, I mean, cars are going to be coming by you left and right like we see here. Just don't make it worse.
And all of that trapped the 9 of Noah Gragson. Is there more to this story for Brandon Brown, Jamie?
Well, I checked with the team, Adam, and they said we only had 9 laps on that set of tires, so we figured let's keep him out and see what the car does in clean air. He held tight for a second, but he continues to fall back.
Yeah, the experiment in clean air is over, right? I mean, he has dropped back. And now for the lead, Austin Hill inside of Sam Mayer, and Ty Gibbs waiting in the wings.
Austin Hill wants some clean air. I'll tell you a car we haven't seen really up front all day. The 7 of Justin Allgaier. Didn't qualify great. He's gotten a little bit better each stage, each run. Running fourth and trying to track down the top 3.
Picking away at it. Austin Hill.
His car looks good too, coming off really low.
Austin Hill did a nice job just catfishing it on the bottom.
I mean, who are you going to put your money on here? The rookie, one of the 2 teenagers, or Justin Allgaier, right? I mean, he's got to be feeling really good about himself.
He's looking good. He's passing what we documented earlier. The 54 is one of the best cars out here. Here we see some issues for Brandon Brown.
Flat left rear tire.
Stay in the middle. Try to tell you. Stay in the middle. Come on down here. Go to the bottom.
Top 10 at Daytona. 11th last week in Fontana, California, after losing a lap. And this is going to be a big problem for him as we're about to hit halfway in Vegas. Hey, Nemechek doing a great job as well, racing up high in the 5th spot.
Trying to peek to the outside is Justin Allgaier. Justin's trying to find a way around the 54. Taking the push, taking it to the top.
Got a nice push off the top from John Hunter and was able to take that to pass the 54 Ty Gibbs. Jamie, what do you got on the 7? He's ripping out there.
Yeah, he's ripping now, but they've been working on this car, Joey, and qualifying. You guys talked about it. He hasn't been qualifying well. He qualified 16th here. They were on the splitter, so they've been working on that issue in this whole session, first half of the race. They made air pressure, Packer, track bar, you name it, and he's not stable on the bottom, but they're coming around, and his car is starting to come to life. I guess better now than before, guys.
I'd rather be good at the end of the race. It looks like he's definitely been able to do that, picking them off methodically, one at a time, and doing Justin Allgaier things. Just nothing crazy, just do a smart race.
So Noah got the 9, got kind of stacked up behind the 68 on that restart. He's kind of picking his way through there, but surprising the 54 doesn't look as strong right here. He's kind of gotten past and kind of gotten freight train on the top, and a little vulnerable right here. We'll have to see how the end of this race plays out. What do we have on the 9 car?
Well, it's interesting, Ryan. You mentioned that Gregson slipped back. He restarted on the inside of that 2nd row, fell back just outside the top 10 because he got caught behind Brandon Brown there in the middle. But to speak to Gregson's maturity, never panicked, didn't get on the radio screen, wasn't doing any of that, just settled right back in, got in his position, and started picking the cars off one at a time. He and crew chief Luke Lambert, they know they've got a car that can challenge for the win today. We've still got a long way to go. Really keeping their composure. Impressive.
He's led 31 laps. He won both stages. But to me, what makes Noah Gragson the favorite is what we're seeing right now in traffic. 3 wide for position. We got a Hemrick, we got a Gibbs, we got a Berry. Look out.
Oh, wow, it was tight all the way through that corner. You saw how tight Ty was on the right rear quarter of the 11. It's not over yet. The 8 still got a run down the front stretch.
Justin Allgaier. I'll tell you, they've been working on that thing. It looks really good. Oh, complete it.
Quite get him yet.
He was clear.
That's one thing I really love about this racetrack. We were talking about Noah Gragson a second ago, having some issues on pit road, having some issues on the restart. But if you're fast here, you can pass cars. You're not stuck, right? It's still challenging to pass, don't get me wrong, but if you're faster than the car around you, you can figure out a way around that car to pass them and move back forward. That's what makes Las Vegas a lot of fun.
Gragson back to 4th now.
He is, and I think he's going to run down the 7 and the 1 here pretty quick. I mean, he's been passing cars, but he's been the fastest car out there while still passing some cars. So they got his car really tuned up, and he's making up ground that he lost on the restart.
And we got a long way to go, right? 97 laps remaining. Everybody going to have to pit at least one more time for fuel, and most would have at least 2 sets or have 2 sets of tires remaining in the pits. Allgaier is settled into 2nd in front of Mayer. Hill working lap traffic. And Gragson now finds himself just over a 2nd off the top spot.
At this point, if I'm Austin Hill, you better run because he's coming. Allgaier is fast for sure.
13th on the line here, Ryan Truex, Riley Herbst. And Joe Junior Motorsports, I mean, just like last week, all 4 of them up there in the top 7, 8 positions. They have been outstanding, and really good with their intermediate program. And here comes Sheldon Creed, had that strategy that didn't work out and has had a couple of saves, some damage to repair, and he finds himself in ninth going for more.
And that's where he did a good job. We talked about how, limit the damage in that situation when he was off strategy on tires. He made his bet, he had to lay in it, but don't make it worse because you live to fight another day. And here he is doing that. And what I say, Austin Hill, you better run because that orange car in your mirror is getting bigger.
You better run, you better hide, right?
Yes.
You see the interval and how it's continued to decrease on what's starting to feel a little bit like a long green flag run. I mean, it hasn't been that way today, but if you go to last September, we did have a run of more than 70 laps in the final stage. We'll see if it pans out this afternoon as Gregson goes after one more, trying to get third from Mayer.
That's what really, if we do get a long green flag run, I mean, I think just over 20 laps has been the longest green flag run today. So that'll really show what your car's doing. Okay, as the track gets a little bit cooler and the days gets a little bit later, tires get worn out. What is your car doing? Because no one's ever seen it today. I mean, we haven't had a huge long run, so it does have kind of the looks of it, Adam, like you said.
92 to go. We can probably make it to right around 50 to go before these guys would have to make a pit stop under green. Something really we haven't had to do this year.
Something to see interesting about the top four cars here. There's a couple of good battles right here for first and second and third and fourth, but they're all on the bottom. No one's moving around with the leaders there. They're all, it's glued to the bottom on both ends. I find that pretty interesting, especially, if you're in dirty air. 3 and 4, you see that happen a lot, but in 1 and 2, I figured that the 7 might move up and try to make something happen here. As I say that, he just did it.
That's going to take the lead.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yep.
Lap traffic could be a factor as well. Allgaier to the outside. Has not led today, and that might change right here.
Must have heard me.
You're a heck of a driver coach over there. New man on point, Las Vegas, 90 to go. His name is Justin Allgaier. Second is Austin Hill. Mayer and Gregson continue to go at it for third.
And, not only does that second lane of 1 and 2, obviously it's clean air when the leaders are on the bottom, but there's less bumps up there. You move up one lane over that tunnel bump. It's just not as rough, and it seems like their car's a little bit more settled down over there, but it seems like everyone wants to be in the bottom in clean air because you saw the 7 move right back down to the bottom lane. But it just makes this racetrack so good because you have those options and you can move up to the middle lane and get runs and search for that clean air, and there's grip if you find it.
Solid drive continues for Landon Castle. A couple of Gibbs cars just behind him. Brandon Jones, Ryan Truex.
You see the 19 check up a lot there. What happened there was the 10 of Landon Castle started sliding up the racetrack, put that dirty air on the nose of the 19, and at that point the 19 is along for the ride. You got to lift. If you keep your foot in it, you're going to hit the wall. That's experience from Landon Castle, knowing that if you do that, you're going to be in a good spot on the corner exit, even if it doesn't help you in that way. It might not have been the fastest line for the 10, but it was the best thing to hurt the car behind him, which put him in a better spot ultimately.
The red flag we had because of rain, sleet, snow, whatever you want to call it, earlier has pushed us long in Las Vegas for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So currently airing on the Fox Sports app, college basketball, Georgetown and Xavier, and we will get you to Cincinnati and the Cintas Center for Big East action when we're all done here, and we got a long ways to go. 87 remaining in race number 3 for these Xfinity cars in 2022. And we are having a good time calling the action. Justin Allgaier's taken over the lead. The dominator early, our pole sitter, A.J. Allmendinger, who is now 10th. Noah Gragson, seen here in the 9, has led 31 laps, won both stages. And still anybody's guess how this one will unfold.
I'll tell you who's gotten their car a little bit better too is Daniel Hemrick. He's been around the 6th, 7th, 8th range most of the day, and he ran down the 9 and the 1 here. And he's got Ty Gibbs right behind him, but it seems like their car has gotten a little bit better as the day's gone on also.
He's still looking for his first top 10 of the year.
Something I noticed here too is looking on the backstretch, the old American flag. She's flying high again, looks beautiful, but I tell you one thing, for the guys going into turn 3, it's making them a little bit more out of control. So that might be why we see so many cars glued to the bottom here right now, possibly because of the wind change that we've seen throughout the race here right now.
Justin Allgaier leading. He's on a 14-race top 10 streak, but it's been 26 races since he went to victory lane. Maybe today is his day.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Incredible racing all around the track. Great battles everywhere you look. It's been a very exciting day as Justin Allgaier leads with 80 to go.
Is that an Adam Alexander impersonation? You guys are a mess. So it turns out one of us needed a pit stop during the commercial.
Adam almost didn't make it back in time.
To make matters worse,
we were ready.
I went in the wrong booth.
Oh, you were over there?
I did. I went in. The looks I got over there. Let's put the pieces back together.
Well, Justin Allgaier is just driving away with a ton of speed right now. You see him 3.5 seconds up.
Put together good laps. The sun's popped out too. It's the first time we've kind of seen the sun here in a little while. It's in the back about halfway through 3 and 4, and it'll change the racetrack just a little bit.
Yeah, and the other thing I would say in the midst of our longest green flag run of the day, so you're going to get a little more tire wear than what you've faced, and the balance of the car is likely to change, right?
That's right. I mean, we've run 32 laps here in this stage, and everyone's starting to fall off a little bit. Kind of surprised we haven't seen more people moving around. Like we talked about before the break, everyone's been married to the bottom. So we'll see as this run progresses and the sun, maybe it peaks out even more to see if cars start moving up the racetrack.
You just see, I mean, you don't see anybody moving around the racetrack. I just find that very interesting. Right there, you saw Ty Gibbs following the car in front of him. Here we got some two-wide racing with Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick in the 11. Making a nice move on the bottom to progress him up forward into 5th.
We got at least 25 laps probably before we would see anybody making a green flag pit stop, but how far into a run, because you guys talk about, the balance of the car changing, the track going through its transformation, how long before you start discussing changes with your crew chief as we check out the Xfinity fastest lap right now going to Justin Allgaier?
Well, you want to go through your car as the run progresses, right? Because what's your car doing on the short run is one thing. What's it doing on the long run? Well, are we going to have another long run? Most likely you're going to have a short run to finish the race. Typically we see short runs finish races. So maybe what's most important is from lap 1 to 20. If that's what we think is most important, let's work on making that better. If we think it's going to go green, but we're coming towards the end of the race, how many more greens are you going to have? Maybe you don't worry about that as much.
Seems to me like, we talked about the 54 earlier, right? At that restart, and he kind of was fading. His car is really good long run. He faded back. Now he's up to third. He's running some pretty good lap times. He's passed a bunch of cars. So be curious to see as Allgaier hits a bunch of lap traffic, which is always an issue when you have long green flag runs, see what the 9 and the 54 can do if they can make up any ground on Justin.
And because of the lap traffic, you can't always look at the current lap time to get a true feel for who has the best race car. But last time around, Ty Gibbs was a little quicker than Justin Allgaier. And it looks like maybe a little debris for the 7. What do you think, Jamie?
Does look like a little bit of debris there. They were just talking on the radio when Allgaier told his team, really good. They added some tape and he thought that really helped him out, but maybe it's because there's a little extra debris on there. Other than that, Justin's like having a Sunday drive right now. Happy with the car. Said he's over driving the right front. You guys were just talking about tires. They reminded him, take care of your stuff. We're not sure when we're going to need to pit here and get those fresh tires.
That's the other factor you don't know on the lap time. When you're leading like this, are you going 100%, right? I know you guys like to save.
Well, you want to save if you're out front sometimes, just in case something happens. But at this point, caution comes out, they're going to pit. So run it. I'd say build that gap as much as you can, because if there is a green flag pit stop, you want to have as big a gap as possible in case you have an issue on pit road or something happens. You're able to build a little bit of time up between the two. And yeah, we noted that there's a little garbage on his grill. They don't seem to be worried about it. And if it doesn't overheat the engine, that's some good garbage. Make you go a little faster. Yep. But windy days, there's always garbage on the racetrack. When it's windy, garbage from the grandstands, from the infield, from the trash cans, it just blows up in the air, and it usually lands on the racetrack on somebody's grill.
When we come to Vegas, we always talk numbers, right? That's what it's all about, especially when you're over at the casino. We said earlier that, Ryan, you have finished 5th here 5 times in the Cup Series. How about Justin Allgaier? He's finished every position in the top 5, but P1.
Could be his day.
Could be. It's looking pretty good for him right now.
The trash looks like it got bigger. That white piece, I think that's tape, but the tan piece is trash. And it looked like it kind of blew apart and kind of covered more of the grill. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot.
And Ty Gibbs is right on the bumper of Noah Gragson for 2nd. At 54, we talked about it. He is good over the long haul.
Yeah, we did talk about that earlier. And not that we had a long haul earlier in the race, but we had a run there early in the first stage where you had to run 45 laps on tires, even though it wasn't consistent under green the whole time. And it definitely shows that that's where that 54 car of Ty Gibbs is the fastest.
The 11, Daniel Hemrick passing Sam Mayer for 4th. He's been pretty decent, like we talked about. Ooh. Getting a little better.
Oh boy. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that's Anthony Alfredo, who slid up the track in the 23, and that was his teammate Jeb Burton in the 27 outside of him.
I'm not sure he knew he was out there. I think 27 was so high up against the wall, I'm not sure he knew he was there.
7 starting to get warm, Jamie?
Yes, it's starting to heat up here. He's trying to get the trash off the grill. He's trying to work with them. They're talking on the radio, and he's saying, tell the spotter of the 36 I'm trying to get my trash off. He just went above 300 degrees. So the pit crew got ready, put their helmets on. Guys, what's hot? In your opinion, what's too hot for you that you're comfortable with?
300 is pretty hot.
It's gone, right?
It looks like he got it, though. I think that white piece is tape they put on the pit stop, so it looks like he got it off on the lap car there. and hopefully the temps come back down.
That's Alex LeBay, 19th. He just went a lap down, so there's only 18 cars on the lead lap. We saw Alfredo, we saw Jeb Burton, all those guys that Allgaier was racing around. He has just now put them 1 lap in arrears as we hit 66 laps to go.
So we just get right behind someone really close. It creates a negative pressure on the grill and a lot of turbulence as well, and you see it just peel it off a little at a time.
The good news for Justin too, he has a bunch of open track ahead of him now for a while. So those things were hot. It climbed, and I think it'll start creeping back down. Vince, does the 9 have an issue?
Yeah, Noah Gragson says he feels like his right front is starting to cord. The handling has gone away, definitely gotten a lot freer. They told him they're 5 laps away from the window, but they'll be ready if he has to come, so keep an eye on the 9.
You know, and part of Justin Allgaier's lead, you know, 2 1/4 seconds or so lead that he has right now, it buys him a lap or 2 that he can go long. So if someone short pits him, meaning that, you know, Noah Gragson may pit a lap or 2 before him, get those new tires, it gives Justin the chance to run an extra lap in case the caution comes out and have newer tires, or 1 lap newer tires later on. So you're going to use that gap. That's why you want to build it as big as you can right now, so you can use the gap.
We'll be ready for you. Let the 54 know I'm trying. I'm not going to be able to get the hearse. Let him know.
Looks like the 9's pitting here.
Unscheduled stop, but right on the outside edge of the window, might be able to make it work.
You know, and this puts him in, you know, it's early. It's pretty early. Now he's just praying that there's no caution. You know, you're going to go a lap down here. You're praying that there's no caution before you can unlap yourself. You know, and then it might work out, but he's going to have pretty old tires by the end of the race. But who knows? Maybe he could put some great laps together here on those new tires before, you know, the caution does come out, or before everyone pits.
Here he is, Vince.
He has been so close to winning here at his home track before, just hasn't been able to get it done for one reason or another. Now this is definitely a bad break for Noah Gragson. You saw the wrench in the rear, making a chassis adjustment. The 4 tires said he was cording that right front. We'll take a look at it when they pull it off on this side of the wall, but a tough break for the 9 of Gragson.
Yeah, but I go back to what you said, Ryan. If you don't get a caution here in the next 10, 12 laps, everybody's going to make their green flag pit stop.
Yeah.
And while they're out there on older tires now, he's on those fresh tires running quicker lap times. If the cautions come at the right time, this could turn into a little bit of a good break, maybe. I mean, that's being very optimistic, but you never know.
It possibly can put him in a really good spot here if a caution falls at the right time, because right now you're right. He is out there on the racetrack. He's going to be the fastest car on the racetrack by probably a couple seconds until the rest of the field pits. Now, once the rest of the field pits, he's going to be the slowest car on the racetrack, and they're going to run him back down. And, you know, ultimately, you want to try to split this thing, you know, right in the middle of the stage. And, you know, he pitted so early that he really didn't drag anybody with him to pit a few laps before halfway through the stage because it was so early. So, you know, right now, I think it's about 4 or 5 laps since he pitted, maybe 4 laps. So, you know, he's going to make up time. He's going to be in the lead when it does cycle. But for how long, we'll have to see.
Right now shown 23rd, 1 lap down, is Noah Gragson. And a good day for the rookies from RCR. Sheldon Creed is in 7th. Austin Hill continues to ride in the 5th position. And there you see the difference in speed between Gragson on the fresh tires and Justin Allgaier, who's out front.
It's about 7/10 he was faster than him. I see Sheldon Creed come down to pit. And now if enough cars start pitting, you could drag everybody else down. I don't foresee any other teams kind of pitting this early, but it could happen.
There's a close moment here. Whoa, the 2 is pitting, and they all were. I tell you, that's a scary spot because you got to start braking on pit, you know, to get onto pit road so early. Here comes the 11.
Man, they could have drugged people down with them.
Here's Hemrick, Jamie.
Daniel Hemrick, you guys noted his car came to life. They made an air pressure adjustment on the last stop, and that helped him significantly. They feel like they're in their window now, Vince.
Well, the 16 is going to be coming down pit road. That was our pole center, A.J. Allmendinger, but he just has not had the car that he has needed throughout the course of this day. Said it just doesn't want to turn. He doesn't know what else to do. They're going to make some changes to it and see if they can help him for the stretch run.
Green flag pit stops underway at Las Vegas. Final stage, 57 to go in the race. Everything you see happening on the pit lane now would be scheduled. Top 10 cars, top 12 cars yet to make a pit stop in this cycle. And getting onto pit road here under green, how difficult, because this is an odd shape. It's kind of arced, the pit road here at Vegas.
Yeah, where it makes it tricky is that you're braking right in the middle of the line. And that's right in a groove when cars are coming at you. And if no one sees you coming, we've seen crashes happen on the pit road before because cars will run them over. You can't get out of the way.
Comes Ty Gibbs. Now, if I'm the 7 and Ty Gibbs has pitted, the 9's pitted, I'm coming this lap. Got to come this lap to stay on sync with the most competitive car with the 54 and the 9 who you're racing against.
Vince?
Not many green flag pit stops for the young Ty Gibbs, the 19-year-old in his brief Xfinity Series career. Had a speeding penalty at this point in the race a year ago here, so keep an eye on him as he exits, but it's a 4-tire change for Gibbs, Jamie.
Justin Allgaier pits from the lead, led 35 laps, felt like he was over driving that right front. He was looking forward to getting these fresh sticker tires. They'll have one set remaining after this. No changes for the 7 of Allgaier.
Couple of mistakes here. The 8 of Josh Berry misses pit road, so he'll have to come around. He'll lose a lot of time in this exchange. And the 2 of Sheldon Creed, he was speeding on exit when he made his green flag stop. Not good for him. All of this is cycled through to Sam Mayer. The 18-year-old is leading, and he will now give up the top spot. He's making a stop with Bailey Curry.
Oh, it looks like this is what we talked about. You slow down right in the middle of the lane. It looks like the 45 ran right in the back of him as he was trying to slow down to get onto pit road. That's what I was talking about.
Sam Mayer in, Jamie.
Yeah, Sam Mayer, not a lot of experience here on 1.5-mile tracks with a hard tire. He was really starting to notice the tires and how they were going numb. So he's looking forward to getting 4 fresh ones. You saw a track bar adjustment in the right rear there. Really tight in 3 and 4, but the 1 been very impressive today.
Brandon Jones had not pitted. He gives up the top spot to get his service with 54 laps to go. There's Barry getting his fresh tires. And look how this is cycling through for Noah Gragson as Brandon Jones comes down, Vince.
Brandon Jones finished top 10 here both races last year, 3rd and 6th, having a solid run in this backup car today. Just needs a little bit more turn late in the turn at about the 5/8 mark. Other than that, he said it's pretty good. We'll see what he can do the rest of the way.
Last driver on the track that has not made his green flag pit stop is Alex LeBay. Noah Gragson is worked up to 2nd, and when the cycle began, the 7 of Justin Allgaier had a 2.3-second lead over Noah Gragson. Now the 9 has overtaken him, but we'll see how it all balances on tires as the run continues. Here's 9 Radio.
Let me know if I need to start saving. Buddy, we're about 2 laps short. We're about 2 laps short here.
I wouldn't start saving yet. You know, save where it's convenient, but the chances of a caution are probably pretty high still. I wouldn't want to give up the lead spot quite yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. You look, you know, so the 7 pitted 8 laps after the 9 did, and it swapped to Gragson. Had about a 2nd lead when it all cycled. I'll tell you what, the kind of the biggest loss was Ty Gibbs lost probably 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to the 7 when they made their pit exchange. So he must have had a little bit slower pit stop. Be curious to see, but they stress that gap.
Well, and not just the pit stop, right? But Vince talked about his inexperience of making green flag pit stops. That driver in and out can make such an enormous difference when you talk about a green flag cycle as well.
Those cycles are intense for everybody, right? It's intense for drivers, for the pit crew. It's a lot going on.
51 laps to go. Gragson, Allgaier, Gibbs, Hemrick, Allmendinger, your top 5 as we hit the 4th quarter in Las Vegas. Getting down to it in Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the battle for the lead is on. Here comes Justin Allgaier to take the top spot back from teammate Noah Gragson.
He didn't make it easy, though. I will say that. Noah gave him a battle, you know, fighting what I think he's 7 laps older tires on there or so. So he's at a disadvantage, but there's some good racing there for about 2 or 3 laps as they were battling each other. Got some radio on the 7 here.
The 9 cannot make it on fuel, correct? If they can, it'll be amazing. I just don't want to push the pace too hard right now to burn myself up, you know what I mean? 10-4, you're running them right down here. Just nice and patient.
And Jason Burdett, the crew chief for Allgaier, probably feels a lot more confident in that statement, knowing that Gragson is a team car. I mean, he's got a way better idea of where they might be able to be on fuel, right?
Yeah, they should be the same mileage somewhat. Your driver has a big piece of what your mileage is, how you drive the car, how much you're off the throttle, how much brake you use. All that goes into the mileage equation. But you know that car and that engine build and what the fuel mileage is getting. So, yeah, that's good information for a driver to know. You know, Justin asked that question. That is important, right? As he's going down there, run him down. Do I need to pressure him? Do I need to run hard? How important is it for me to take the lead here, or can I just wait for it to come to me?
You know, we were talking before the break about Ty Gibbs and what he'd lost on that cycle of stops. Let's compare the 7 and 54 using our ghost car technology. This really puts into perspective where he lost the time.
Yeah, and we go back to experience, right? I mean, Justin just knew I can drive it to this point in the corner before I have to let off and get on the brake. Ty made some of it back up, you know, trying kind of getting to the line. Justin just drove it so much further, but that's a pretty big gap, you know, I mean, and that all plays into it. It's so hard because, you know, we try to do pit stop practice entries in practice, right? And kind of go into pit road hot. Because especially in the Cup race, you kind of know you're going to have a green flag stop at some point, and you try to push the boundaries, but it's hard. You know, do I go this much further and take a chance in speeding? But you can't give up precious time too, so it's a weird balance for sure.
Risk versus reward, all the time. Always got to, you know, put that in the equation. How big's my lead? Can I go in a little bit easier and not risk that? You know, am I right near a spot, or is there 2 or 3 seconds on each side of me, and it doesn't matter how hard I get in. You know, like those things you got to be thinking about as a race car driver and saying, okay, this is worth it. This is worth the risk to push it as hard as I can to try to grab a spot, or let's just not shoot ourselves in the foot here.
I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, and that is Justin Allgaier and how much you push at this stage of the race. Because earlier you said build up as big of an advantage as you can, Joey, because you're going to make green flag pit stops and you want to be out as far as possible. Now, different scenario. You're racing to the checkers. Do you back off a little bit here and take care of things?
I think so. You know, yeah, 40 laps to go. You got just over a second lead on a car that doesn't have as good of tires as you. You got one more set in the pits. And you have 40 laps. Like, if the caution comes out right now, I don't know if you put your tires on quite yet. You know, it's going to be probably a split call. You know, so why not just save your tires in case you do decide to stay out if the caution comes out?
Yeah, I mean, Joey said it perfectly, right? If I'm Justin, I'm managing my gap, right? You know, and I'm mainly managing a gap to the 54 car, you know, because he asked the 9. He's a little bit short on gas, so you know he's probably going to have to save a little bit, or his saving. So just manage your gap, save your tires, and you know, if there's a caution, then you know you come in and maybe put your set on depending on what lap it is. But yeah, just managing a gap is the biggest thing.
Vince, what is the latest on Gragson?
Well, you see that gap continuing to grow for Noah Gragson, now almost 2 seconds behind the leader, Justin Allgaier, because Gragson does have to save gas. They told him he was 2 laps short. He says he's about 3/4 throttle right now. So that gap's going to continue to grow until he gets to a point where they feel he's comfortable on fuel.
And, you know, when it comes to saving fuel, yes, it's more efficient to start sooner. Right, you can lose less time if you start saving fuel with more laps to go. You know, if you got to save 2 laps and you only got 10 laps to go, think about how much slower you have to go to save 2 laps. So it's the most efficient way doing it the way he is right now. He's already lost the lead. He's got 3 seconds behind him. Why don't you just, you know, see if you can put a lap in the bank here without losing much time.
And there you see the difference. the car in between Bailey Curry, the lap vehicle.
Good look at his throttle. He don't seem like he's saving much right there. but you know, maybe he's already saved his laps. You know, maybe they've already told him, hey, you need to save for X amount of laps.
We need 30 laps to 75% throttle. 30 total laps to 75% throttle.
Well, that answers your question. He needs a lot of laps to save. That's a lot of laps to save him.
Yeah.
Really.
It's interesting they got it scienced out. There's a few ways to do it, right? You can go part throttle and not, you know, burn as much fuel that way. I've always felt like the best way to save fuel is to eliminate the brake pedal. That's the number 1 thing I do first. The brake pedal is the fuel mileage killer, and anyone driving down the highway knows that. You know, so that's always the first thing. And you know, there might be some other very efficient ways and strategies they have as race teams in the, you know, running part throttle, saving a certain amount. But all this is a calculation. We don't have a gauge in the car saying, you know, you're 0.2 miles short. You know, like it's a calculation, and it's kind of a judgment call.
Here's what they're saying on Allgaier's radio.
It's really good pace. You can come off it some if you want to. That's what I've already done here, buddy. Good minds think alike. Just trying to stay that right front the best I can. The more the rubber gets laid down, the worse it is.
Huh. So usually the more rubber it lays down, it kind of saves your right front tire. But I think it's just making his car tighter. Yeah. Maybe that's what he's talking about. He's slipping the tire more. He's overheating it. You know, I don't think the right front tire is coming apart by no means, but I think it's getting hot and sliding more and making his balance tighter and tighter.
Allgaier has now led the most laps today, 50 out front for him, 36 for Gragson. Allmendinger so good early from the pole at 32, and Sam Mayer 25. You look at Junior Motorsports today, gosh, they've led a bunch of laps. Those cars been strong here again. They're first, they're second. Mayer's back there in 10th. Barry, of course, has dropped back outside the top 10 because he had the issue getting to pit road. But he's 12th and still on the lead lap. And, boy, you get a caution. He's right back in this thing.
Just go easy. 6 seconds now. 10-4.
And you hear 6 seconds. That's obviously not to Noah Gragson. That is 6 seconds back to Ty Gibbs. So that's, like Blaney said earlier, they're gapping off the third place car, knowing that Noah has to save fuel, and you know they can just kind of manage that gap. So 6 seconds is a lot, but I always get kind of scared to give up too much of a lead, because all it takes is a lap car or something happening, and you know, if you get someone too close and the momentum changes and maybe their car lights up the last 10-15 laps of the run, I'd hate to give up all this time and then get beat.
You know, looking back through the top 10, and some real good stories there. We've touched on Junior Motorsports, but we have to give a call to Joe Gibbs Racing as well. You know, coming into the race today, first 2 races, they had exactly 1 top 10, and it was Trevor Bayne last weekend at California. This weekend, all 3 of their cars in the top 10, led by Ty Gibbs, but Truex in the top 5, driving that 18 car, first of his 4 starts. Brandon Jones is 8th after coming from the back. And you know, we can always overreact when a team is slow out of the gate, and you never want to push the panic button when you have cars like this, but it can get concerning, and there's trouble.
Caution. Wow.
And that's Stephen Parsons in the 99, the 6 of Ryan Vargas. And now we'll see how it unfolds. 13 cars on the lead lap.
Hopefully Ryan's all right. You see him getting the wheel off there. He took a pretty hard leg, as well as Stephen Parsons.
Yeah, they were already connected when we saw it, so we'll look at it on the replay, but a lot of damage there. Jesse Awuji also got a piece of the action. He's going to the garage, be done.
Makes you wonder what happened here. It's such a long green flag run. You see.
Keep an eye. 34 is going to pop up. There he is.
Oh, 34 lost it in front of him.
Oof. Well, Landon Castle going for a slide too in the 10.
Well, I guess that makes up his mind if he's going to pit. Yeah, you see the 34 just sideways in front of him. Jeez, there's nowhere to go. Look how far under the 99 was under the 6 car. That's called windshield deep. When you see the rear tires up on your windshield.
I don't see any flats on Jesse's car. It looks like he just got loose and looped it. And unfortunately for the 6, he checked up, and 99 couldn't check up as fast and just kind of got collected there.
BJ McLeod has now lost 2 cars today. We saw the damage to Matt Mills. Now Stephen Parsons. This is a long trek for all these teams out west to lose 2 cars in one day. It's got to be incredibly frustrating, and we'll see the impact when we get to Phoenix next week. Yeah, Vargas seems really upset, and I'm sure he's frustrated, but yeah.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate spot in the wrong time for him, you know, with 34 getting loose and then just kind of getting sandwiched there. I'd be upset too. That's just unfortunate racing luck right there.
And he's a hustler. You know, he had a great qualifying run down at Daytona, finished in the top 20, but he's a guy that you want to root for and an underdog in a series, and you hate to see his day come to a close like that. So, hey, celebrate good times if you're a Noah Gragson fan, because you got the caution you needed. Here's their radio.
How did my right front look? Was it cording or no? No, buddy, there was no evidence of anything. If anything was going on with it, it was inside. Yeah, 10-4, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they win either way because ultimate saving opportunity is under caution, so that's good for them. But I think big picture, everybody's going to pit. Only 13 cars on the lead lap. You got a set of tires. You got to come here, right? No brainer.
I think if you're in the top 7 or 8 cars, yes. Maybe, you know, like you said, there's 13 cars on the lead lap. Is that what you just said? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're, well, we know Landon Castle's going to pick because he just spun missing that wreck. But if you're Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, John Hunter Nemechek, you know what? There's only 13 cars on a lead lap. If this thing goes another 10 or 12 laps and the caution comes out, the worst you're going to start is 13th. And you'll have new tires. That's your chance to win. You're not going to win. Those cars are not fast enough. That's what we know. Anyone from pretty much 8th on back is not fast enough to win the race naturally. They have to figure out a different way of doing it. This presents the opportunity to do the opposite of the leaders. Whatever the top 5-6 cars do the other thing.
But you're also not going to probably lose the lead lap, right, with 20 to go. No. I mean, here. So, you're not going to lose it that way, which is, I mean, it's kind of a win-win, right, if it plays out for you.
It's a gamble, right? I mean, it's a gamble. You saw Anthony Alfredo and that team gamble last week, staying out, saving a set of tires. It worked out for them to an extent. They had too many cautions at the end of that race, and he wasn't able to, you know, make it all up. But he still got a better finish out of it than what he would have. So, yeah, I'm with Joey. I mean, if you're especially 10th, 11th, 12th, stay out and take your shot at trying to get a caution and then flipping it and get your tires, and maybe you end up winning the race.
Brian, you talk about Anthony Alfredo doing that last week, but he started like 28th.
Yeah.
Now, you'd be starting 13th at worst, right? So that's a big difference. Not as many cars that have to come through.
Hey, the other thing I would say in this scenario, and you talk about Alfredo, his teammate, maybe in the catbird seat a little bit here. At least he's got a big gain opportunity, and that's Brett Moffitt, because he gets the free pass, right? So he basically gets a free pit stop. I mean, he pits here, and I mean, I guess he could save tires too and stay out. But if he pits here and maybe jumps some of those guys that would stay out, he could be looking at a top 10.
Yeah, if I'm Moffitt, you got to start at the back of the pack anyway.
Exactly.
So you don't pit.
I wouldn't pit because when you get the lucky dog, you have to start at the tail end of the field. So you wouldn't get the opportunity to really make good out of your tires. So you might as well just stay out at that point.
Get the lap back, save the tires, and put yourself in position if you get the caution to do it later.
Yeah, because the chances of him driving, because he'll be starting, even though he'll be 14th on the lead lap, he'll be, you know, probably 30th or 5th or so, 30th or so on the running order.
And we'll prolong the drama because they got to clean up pit road before they can open it up. 25 to go. To pit or not to pit at Las Vegas. If you tune in for college basketball, right now it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're live in Las Vegas. Joey Logano is here. Cup Series champion, two-time Vegas winner. Ryan Blaney is with us in the booth. They'll both be racing here tomorrow, 400 miles live on Fox. But first, some unfinished business for these Xfinity teams. Pit road is open. They'll make their stops with 23 to go. The top three for sure going to come down and get some fresh tires for the stretch run. Jamie Little.
And Justin Allgaier, who's led the most laps today at 59, brings it on down to get that last set of sticker tires. He was wearing out that right front, the 11 as well. Daniel Hemrick decided to pit for 4 tires. Vince?
Well, the 54 of Ty Gibbs pitting from third. It's a little bit tight, so they're going to pump up the air pressure to try to free him up a little bit. And then Noah Gragson pitting from second. He's led 36 laps today, going back down on a previous adjustment of the track bar. So the track bar going down 1 round, 4 tires, and Justin Allgaier easily the first one off pit road.
Wow, that was really tight as Ty Gibbs left behind John Hunter Nemechek in the 26. Allgaier's group holds serve. +1 for Gibbs. Gragson goes back 1. A.J. Allmendinger surfacing late. +2 for the 16. 8th caution of the day. A pile up coming off the corner. It all started with Jesse Owuji. Should be a great finish. 20 laps to go. We're ready for a little shootout here in Vegas. So let's get the recap this early. Ty Gibbs, Ryan Sieg.
Had a little words exchange. Went to some snow. Sleet.
Wait, did you say
rain?
snow? I mean, what in the world is happening here?
Noah getting hydrated.
Gregson's been great today. Won a couple of stages.
Had a little attempted retaliation that unfortunately hurt Moffitt and Sheldon Creed's car.
So there's the victorious Noah Gragson. Last time he swept stages. Only one other time he finished 11th. Much better position today. And this is the crash that brought out our current and 8th caution. Jesse Owuji, Ryan Vargas, Stephen Parsons. And the air cleaner comes off. So do the gloves. And there it is. Look at that blowing through the air. And when there's debris, the nose of a race car undoubtedly will find it.
There it is.
Ended up on Joe Graf Jr.'s car.
The air box is not done yet.
You want to hit the jackpot in Vegas, but not like that. And it's still there.
I think might overheat.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no
I
air
think
getting to
NASCAR's
it.
going to black flag him to probably clean that off before we go. But maybe.
I mean, he's had a tough day, gotten beat up, but once again, congratulations to that race team, Bobby Dotter and everyone at SS Greenlight Racing, winning last weekend in Fontana with Cole Custer behind the wheel. Debris is still there. And we will now look at the restart that comes with 20 to go. Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, front row.
This is where it all comes down to. This could be the winning restart right here. Getting that clean air.
So Allgaier didn't really get a great push. Here comes the 9 of Gregson. Got a great push by Hemrick. He's going to take it top of 3.
Hemrick's been a great pusher today, and this shove
to the lead
puts the 9 back out front. Power move, high side for Gregson.
Wow.
Stay wide behind you. Still 2 back to the 11 and Lobby.
11's going to get through here, maybe. Oh, it's tight. Almost was able to come down 1 lane.
Sam Mayer getting with it in that high lane in the 1 car.
Gregson is loving this. Loving these guys racing hard side by side as Hemrick gets clear, but they're 3 wide for 3rd.
Austin Hill, little crossover down there in the 21.
Oh, we're going to have a spin
That's
here.
Mayer into the wall. Debris flies off. Caution number 9.
We talked about Sam Mayer today.
Hanging off. We tagged that wall. It's over 1 and 2. Taylor, tail covers dragging.
Yeah, he was doing such a great job today, running up front, leading laps, getting that experience. You know, he was racing, up front. If you're going to get caught up in something, at least it's up front. And, they'll have to obviously come back and do some repairs to that thing, get the spoiler back on, deck lid back on.
He led 25 laps, so he got great experience today. It's a shame it didn't end up well for him. But now we have another restart. We saw how crazy that last one was, and I got a feeling this one will be just as crazy.
This caution works out good for a couple of guys. One, Brett Moffitt, who was the free pass pitted, as you guys talked about, started deep. Now he cycles up. Jeremy Clements took the wave around. Now they can pit and get some fresh tires restarting inside the top 15.
Let's see what happened here. You see the 1 on the outside of the yellow car out there. Looks like there just wasn't enough room for everybody. The 19 May came up. The 1 came down a little. Like maybe a little both there, Blaine?
I think it was a little bit of both, of coming up and coming down and then coming together.
Not a perfect union. Up, down, and then together. We didn't like that.
I mean, 19 may have come up a little bit more. I don't know. Looked like racing to me.
Racing.
Well, at this stage of the race, right? I mean, could be the final restart. You got to go get it. On board with Riley Hurst.
Here's a good view of it.
That was just one of those racing deals.
Tight, 3 wide.
People kind of running hard and going in the corner deep. And unfortunately, Mayer got the worst of it.
Sometimes you're the ball, sometimes you're the bat.
Yeah, but with so few cars on the lead lap, 15, I mean, I know the car's going to be beat up, but he had good stage points today. As you guys pointed out, he led laps. And if they can keep this thing together with so few laps remaining, he can salvage a pretty decent points day here, talking about Sam Mayer.
Yeah, if he's able to stay in the lead lap here, which I'm not sure if he was able to or not here. Obviously, a lot of repairs to try to put on the back. You stay on the lead lap, you can get something out of today. There was a lot of wave arounds that last caution. So, where there was only 13, now looks like there's 15 on the lead lap.
Yeah. Jeremy Clements, the big one, I think that could get the payoff here.
They didn't run that many laps though under green, so I'm not sure if the tires will be as much of a factor. But Jamie, are you standing with Allgaier's crew chief?
Yes, Jason Burdett. It's been a heck of a day for you guys. Worked on this car, got it right the second half of the race. But here we are. We got another restart. Do you guys feel like the car is strong enough to hold off those 2 ahead of you?
Yeah, I think we've been pretty good. Since the end of that second stage, we've been really good. If we could get single filed out here and not get shoved in the middle or anything like that, and get in line, I think we got plenty of speed to get back by them. But you never know. We'll see. Clean air is always king at all these places. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Justin's done a great job all day. These guys have done a good job on pit road. So we just got to thank everybody from Brandt, Chevrolet, for helping us all weekend, and we'll see what happens.
Justin Allgaier has been a bridesmaid at Las Vegas 3 times, Adam. He wants to finish it off today in victory lane.
Well, and just think about the last 2 races here, Jamie. He was second here in September, led 90 laps. He's led 62 today, as you see on the graphic, and still got some work to do if he's going to get that first career victory here.
And you may wonder, how is this crew chief so calm in this situation? His job's done. They ain't coming back down pit road unless something goes wrong. He said, here you go, driver. That's what you got. Figure it out.
I'll say this about Jason Burdett. He's pretty stress-free all the time.
Yeah, well, you know it better than me.
Now, he's got a son that races. Maybe when his kid's out there on track, it's different,
it
right?
might change.
But when it's Allgaier, it's like, let him handle it. And, here's what's great about these two. They're racers, old school guys, Justin and Jason both. And they've been together now a long time at Junior Motorsports. And, you look at them, I mean, Justin's had so much success since coming back to the Xfinity Series. He's the all-time wins leader at JRM. So much credit goes to both these guys. A look at our race summary with Gregson leading. 16 lead changes today among 8 different drivers. We're going to have 16 cars on the lead lap for this restart. And 9 cautions, plus a 42-minute red flag when Mother Nature said no thank you to the NASCAR Xfinity Series with some rain and sleet and snow.
And a pizza delivery, all within that.
That's right. That didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut of my race summary.
How many pieces did you guys eat, by the way?
Paul's still watching. I just had one.
I just had one.
I had one bite.
I'm going to call something on that.
I had a couple. They were very good. They were very good.
I've always said you put on more weight during a red flag than any other time, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you
delays.
do when it rains. You eat.
This little guy, he's having a good time. Probably his first race.
He's in the Raiders' hometown wearing the Bengals outfit, He's in enemy territory.
I'm sure he knows that.
That's trash talk because the Bengals beat the Raiders in the playoffs this year.
So I'm curious to see where Gregson's going to pick. We've seen the bottom probably be the best lane, but we've seen the top. Gregson got the lead from the top, but he was 4th. So, and he got a good push. So,
what would you do?
That's why I'm up here. I'm learning.
Taking notes.
I don't know, because you got a feeling. And now it's interesting because he took his teammate Allgaier 3 wide. So, how much help is Allgaier going to
loyalty
give to you?
anymore.
So like that's out the window. So they're coming to the shoes.
This will be the moment right here.
I'd want to go where Hemrick's going to be behind me. That's what I would want, right?
Well, Hemrick wants the front row.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get that choice when you're the leader.
So Hemrick takes front row, and then the 9 has a 7 behind him. I'm curious to see how much Allgaier, if he has any opportunity to jump to the outside of the 9, he's going to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes.
I just think Hemrick's been the best pusher all day long. And now he gets his opportunity to get a shove and maybe get the lead.
Well, we haven't seen him on the front row yet.
No.
So that'll be an interesting move too. And yeah, this will be something. There's some debris here.
A lot of debris.
Hopefully these guys see that.
Yeah, they probably won't go green, I'm guessing, even though we're lined up. We'll see if they add a lap in. As we sort that out, we remind you, Cup Series racing tomorrow. Lights are on the pace car, so we will add a lap. Kyle Larson trying to go back-to-back this season, trying to go back-to-back at Las Vegas in the spring race. Our coverage begins on Fox 3 Eastern. Race day actually starts on FS1 at 2. And to give credit where credit is due,
I wasn't going to say nothing because I
mean, you get your own. Like,
I know.
Really, like, the squeaky wheel got the grease on this one.
I know.
What did you think when we did that to you on Race Hub?
On Race Hub,
Monday
that
night?
was a great surprise. This is an amazing surprise.
You're so cool.
You said
I think Joey wants his own promo. Is what he's kind of getting at.
too. Yeah, where's mine?
I think, to be mean, next Saturday we should do an all Suarez promo because Joey, he's going to be in the booth with you and me in Phoenix.
My amigo, he'll be up here. That's going to be a lot of fun. Daniel's a great racer. He's a great person and brings a whole new flavor to the booth here, so should be fun.
Artie Kempner is our director. There's a report going around that he's doing this race in the truck in a full suit. had some family commitments this weekend, a little wedding and that kind of thing, but he's here. Not his own wedding, but we should, since we're talking about his marriage, say happy birthday to wife Julie today, huh?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
No need to sing. Just want to say happy birthday. And we'll keep an eye on Artie for you.
That's a tough task.
I'm feeling like this might not be the last restart.
I mean, we talked about late race restarts, right? When we were talking about green flag pit stops and how to tune your car.
But you better go get what you can, right? I mean, this is what it's all about right here.
You need to treat it like it's the last restart of the race.
This is the money time. Show me the money. This is it.
Got another one in.
I got it.
Lead them off.
He's laughing, having a good time.
I think he's laughing because I know what Justin's about to do here to the 9 car.
Now the 9 might be ready for it, though.
I think you got to be ready for it if you're the 9, right? I mean, you just put him 3 wide. You got to be looking in your mirror, and the spotter is going to be aware that might happen.
I might predict the 54 jumps out of line at some point, too. He's no stranger to getting after it on these restarts.
Now, if you're Dale Jr. and you see both your cars do this and none of them win, that's not a happy day.
12 remaining at Vegas. Gregson on the front row with Hemrick.
The 7 pretty committed to the 9 right there.
Yeah.
Good push, but Hemrick
11
hanging in down low.
One side draft coming here down the back.
And if he can get position, get him on
Big
his quarter
side draft.
panel into the corner.
11's going to drive it off in there deep. Oh.
Get loose up. That wiggle may have opened the door.
Oh.
Take the lead
Ooh, that's
hard
a big
into the
hit.
wall. Austin Hill, Truex around.
Yeah, spinning down through the pits here.
John Hunter Nemechek going for a ride, saves it and rights the ship going down the pit lane.
I'd say that scares me when there's cars sideways down the middle of pit road. There's a lot of great men and women on pit road there, so luckily no one hit anything on pit road.
66 is J.J. Yaley. Riley Herbst got a piece of the action. And for the second straight week, a crash
Take your time getting
21.
out there, bud. They're coming to you now.
He took a big hit. Those hits, when you hit a flush hit to the wall with the side of your car, there's no give. Those frame rails were made to stay there, and you take the hit. It's a brutal hit.
Unfortunate. Ryan Truex having a really good run today, and that's a shame to see that car be tore up at the end of the race. He was running great all day. Curious to see how this starts. I think it's going to be a product of someone getting loose under.
Here we go. Going down into turn 3. See the it's kind of when everything checked up from the leaders getting loose. Whoa.
Well, that was violent, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm still not sure what happened there. The 18 just took a big move up the racetrack.
Got really free, kind of out of the blue. Maybe when everyone checked up, he kind of had to get out of the gas and it
he got
unlocked
loose there.
something. Yeah, in the rear end, or
you see him get
got
loose
real
and kind of
free,
corrected
yeah.
up the racetrack. Poor Austin Hill. Wrong place, wrong time, 2 weeks in a row. Watch that red car get loose. Whoop, oh.
Yeah.
And it happens that quick.
Go middle, easy. Go low, low.
Oh, jeez.
Hold your line.
Oh, he was past the crash. Oh, no.
This is what you said, Joey, that's so scary is when you
This
go to miss
25
and you're
car.
going down pit road.
Yeah, sideways like that down pit road. You see everybody right just on the other side of the wall. There's pit openings and all that.
I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, talent on full display. What a save.
Yeah.
And everybody was glad to see that save.
Yeah, they were bailing out on the other side of the wall.
He's the impact at a 21. Watch this thing hit the wall. Ugh. I know it doesn't look bad in slow motion, but from being inside the car and on one of those things, ugh.
Some real hard hits today, and some enormous impacts for these drivers. You know, right there, Riley, he didn't look too bad, right? Maybe a little banged up on the front end.
He did a great job, pretty much missing the initial wreck, and then he kind of went to the apron there, and someone was inside, and then unfortunately got him tore up. Like you said, Joe, after he missed the wreck. That's the unfortunate part.
You just never can let your guard down. That stinks, man. You're past the big piece of it. You think you're good.
He had a rough start to the season last year, and he and I talked about this, but this year not the case, right? Top 10s first 2 weeks of the season. He's on pit road. So is Ryan Truex. And there goes the 21 of Austin Hill.
Rough couple weeks for Austin Hill.
Yeah, and tough for the team, right? Because you go to a backup from California to Vegas, and now you're going to have to unload another one. Even though it might have been a different car for Phoenix, you're going through the stash, you know what I'm saying? Boy, what a cutie at the racetrack today. Going to be like 5 laps to go when we return to the green flag for what may or may not be the final restart of the day. Noah Gragson leading the race. I think that outfit kind of describes Noah's personality. You know, did you see that? Pink pants under some checkered shorts.
Unique. We'll go with unique.
That's a good positive spin on that. Great day for Noah. Trying to finish it off, get his first hometown win. Ty Gibbs has been great, enjoying his best run of the year. Daniel Hemrick, our reigning champ, very quiet, but now finds himself in the 3rd position. Allgaier 4th. Landon Castle is inside the top 5. There's Allgaier. I mean, Castle's had it all, right? I mean, the car catches on fire in California. They take it home, repair it, bring it back here, start in the back, go to the front, penalize, go to the back, been all over the place. And he's staring in the eyes of a top 5 finish. Brandon Jones crashed hard late last week, top 10. Josh Berry had the mistake coming to pit road. He's top 7 as we get the choose here, and Gregson goes outside.
Yeah, right now I feel like if you're anywhere in the top 3 rows, you got a chance at winning this thing. And you see right there, Ty taking the inside on the front row to 7, going behind Ty. That'll be an interesting restart to see how those two work together or not work together. Landon Castle, I see him making the move. I see if he got the run, I see him going 3 wide. I would want to be ready for that if I'm Allgaier. And you got the best pusher that we've seen all day long. The car is the best on restarts, the 11 of Daniel Hemrick, starting 2nd row outside.
Clements in the top 10. Brett Moffitt in the top 10. Still anybody's guess who's going to win this thing.
It's all going to come down to who gets the lead on this restart. I mean, you're going to be 5 laps to go. I think it's going to be hard to kind of drive around somebody if you don't get the lead.
You got to get the lead. Now, they might race door to door for a lap or 2 possibly, but I think you get the lead, you're going to be in pretty good shape here.
What do we say off the top? Show me the money.
Show me the money. This is the money time right now, my boys. This is the action.
Time to cash in Las Vegas. 5 to go. Noah Gragson getting after it from the lead.
Oh, good start.
Good push on the. They got disconnected. 54 is clear. Wow.
Hemrick pushing Gregson, but he's going to be 2nd behind Gibbs.
Tight door to door going into the corner to 7. Ty Gibbs got that clean air like you talked about, Ryan Blaney. It's going to be hard to get around. And the 9 showed to have a lot of speed, though. I would say it's over yet.
Big mess from 3rd on back.
The 9 ain't letting him get away. Oh, big slide by Brandon Jones.
Josh Berry right in the rim has got it up to 4th.
You finish your bench. Short it again. Short it again. 3 more.
At this point, you're Ty Gibbs, and you're driving for all you got, running qualifying laps, listening to your spotter, trying to figure out where the 9 is, if he's making any speed, what you have to do to try to stop that. Anything you can do to try to break the draft down the back straightaway. Keep that lead.
He's pulling him a little bit. The clean air is definitely helping. I think Noah's just a little tight behind him, coming to 2 to go.
Real close on the lap time. 3 miles to victory for Ty Gibbs. This team's so good a year ago on 1.5 mile tracks. Gibbs won a pair. Nemechek won. Kyle Busch
Money right there.
was outstanding.
Run regular, no need. Straight, run regular. Don't break it. Hit your arc.
White flag is out in Las Vegas. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. We've got a caution. I do believe, are they going to let him race back? There it is, the yellow. Race is over.
Back around to the checkers here.
That will end it. Ty Gibbs is going to win in Las Vegas.
Or back her down, roll out of it. There may have fluid, so don't bust your tail.
Wouldn't that be something?
Checker flag. Way to do it there, guys.
Once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag makes it official. In this case, it's the caution. Ty Gibbs has got his first victory of 2022.
That's why you got to watch the end of these things. Wouldn't have called it. You know, you look at there at the end, the 7 of Justin Allgaier looked like the dominant car. Did a good job through the pit cycle. They were looking great. Caution after caution. Allgaier falls back to 5th. Gragson back to 2nd.
Here's the crash that brought out the caution.
Not clear.
Man, what a day for Ty Gibbs. I mean, fast start, drives to the front, gets into Ryan Sieg into 39.
Yeah, we saw that, had a little discussion about it, and Ryan Sieg wasn't too happy, tried to return the favor and didn't quite pull it off, and Ty Gibbs went on to win the race tonight.
How about this? Justin Allgaier leads 62 laps. Noah Gragson leads 51, wins both stages. Ty Gibbs gets the lead on the final restart. He leads the last 6 laps, and that's all he needed to claim the victory.
That's all it takes. All it takes is one, really.
That's right. That's right. And great, you know, I mean, you looked at the 7 gave him a really good push to get to the lead, and that's what it took. You know, I mean, we saw the leader be able to get clear by turn 1 and it make a huge difference, and he was able to do that and hold the night off.
A year ago, he made 18 starts. Was Rookie of the Year after winning 4 times. And the 19-year-old picking up the checkered flag for the first time in his career at Las Vegas. It's only the 3rd win for Joe Gibbs Racing here as an organization. Kyle Busch had won here on a pair of occasions. Saw the disappointment for Gragson and Allgaier as Ty Gibbs celebrates. Third driver with 5 wins through 21 starts, joining Darrell Waltrip and Ryan Newman.
He can't even go at the casino later. Oh, he can, I guess. He put his winnings in the casino.
Can he do that?
He can't throw it all on 54, I guess.
How about it, Vince?
Boy, this is a happy racer right here. How about it, man? You guys had a great long run car all day, but not the short run. But you had to do it on the short run. How did you win that restart and win the race?
You know, first of all, I want to say all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to say thank you to him. And I want to second of all, I want to apologize to the 38 or the 39 for still the contact I made. You know, it wasn't my best decision, and I'm sorry to our whole group, Ryan's family. They worked so hard. So I want to apologize to them. But let's put this thing on red, baby. Let's go!
What does it mean to you, Ryan, or Ty, to have gotten this win today after everything that you guys had to go through throughout the course of this race? I mean, it wasn't without its issues, and you still managed to survive and finish it up with the win.
Yeah, you know, it was awesome. I want to say thank you to Justin Allgaier for my push, too. That helped me out a lot. You know, I had a fun time racing with the junior cars, so, you know, hopefully we can keep it going. We can go win some more races. I want to say thank you to Monster Energy, Toyota. My Toyota GR Super was so fast. So, you know, this is awesome, and let's go! Woo!
Ty Gibbs.
And what a day it was for Noah Gragson. Left 51 laps today, the most you've ever led here at your home track. You came up 1 spot short again, but you're a little upset. Was there something with the restart that you're going through in your head?
Yeah, just kind of got beat at our own game there. Restarts just, you know, came up short, but it felt like he was rolling, but, you know, I guess that's the box that we're in. But 50th anniversary Bass Pro Shop Camaro was really good. Thanks to Johnny Morris, Z-Man, JP, everybody who helps this program. Rusty at True Timber and the guys over at Black Rival Coffee, appreciate it. Just, you know, we got warned earlier in the race for kind of doing something similar to that, but I don't know, just need to be better, you know. Congrats to them. We'll keep working hard, and thankful for this team led by Luke Lambert, but yeah, we'll come back stronger next weekend.
Thanks, Noah. Adam?
I mean, I know he's disappointed, and I understand because he wants to win here in his hometown. But the bottom line is third, second, and second to start the year. Remarkable what we've seen on Noah Gragson.
Yeah, it's definitely a great start. But it's your home track. I get the agony of defeat. You're so close. You're leading the laps. You're doing all the right things. The wins will happen if he keeps, you know, staying consistent and doing those things. But what a great race we saw today. A lot of action. We've seen everything today, Blaney.
We really did. I mean, we saw, gosh, like you said, everything. We had snow today in Las Vegas, so I mean, who would have ever thought? But it was great to see, you know, everyone racing really hard. Gosh, we saw some great racing. We saw some pretty big wrecks. Luckily, everyone was okay, but it was nice to be up here again and learn a little bit for tomorrow and see what we can do.
What do we anticipate 400 miles tomorrow?
We don't know. I had to unlearn a lot of things last week with the next-gen car, so we're going to be up for a whole new set of challenges tomorrow. Hopefully our Penzel Mustang is fast and we're able to stay towards the front and win this thing again.
Yeah, it'll be exciting tomorrow. I think in our race you see us moving around a lot. I think the wind is going to be maybe not as bad as it was today, but it'll be pretty similar. Hopefully we don't get any frozen rain. But no, we'll see. Like Joey said, it'd just be great to get a win for Pennzoil here. Be awesome. I've been close a couple times. It'd be nice to finish it out.
Enjoyed having you guys in the booth. I'll see you next week in Phoenix for another one. Daniel Suarez is with us as we head off to the Desert Mile and wrap up our West Coast swing. Tomorrow, it's NASCAR on Fox, live from Las Vegas. Thanks for being with us. Congratulations, Ty Gibbs. It's time now for college basketball on FS1.
We are the ones at the top of the mountain, climb tighten the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to our arena. If you don't know by now, it's hard to beat us. You can tell by our demeanor how hard we leaning. Leave a lasting impression on who is the best, and there won't be a question. You will remember our name when you see it in lights. We are the champions. We are the champions. We will fight through the pain. We'll be legends tonight. We are the champions. We are the champions.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.